Yep, I did. Cool. There's always that little bit of panic that something went horribly, horribly wrong. Ew, okay. I just got, I guess that's good. I tried that little countdown sticker on Instagram. I'm really bad at being on Instagram, and I got a little update that my countdown for going live is over. Thanks. Thanks, Instagram. Hello, testing. How we doing? How we feeling? Can we hear me? Can we see me? I should probably move some of this stuff. Everything just kind of happened at once. I have my alarm for 7. I have this. I didn't know I was gonna get an update making a countdown, but we did. Um, Hi. That's. I guess that's nice that they do that, right? I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know anything about like I'm so bad at social media. So shout out to everyone who sticks around for my social media presence. Speaking of, I'm live. Hope you stop by. Haha, I retweet myself. How's everyone doing? Looks good, sounds good, awesome. Thank you. Smash that like. Would you be so kind? Subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell, check the settings, set them to all, blah, blah, blah. You know the YouTube words. You know the drill. Thank you to everyone who clicks on stuff. That's always... I guess it's important to reference clicking on things at the beginning of videos and streams and stuff, because YouTube likes it. I like when people click on stuff. It's very validating. But I never want that to feel like it's something I take for granted. Oh, you'll click it, but please do. Um, Hope everyone's doing good. Thank you again to everyone who supported in I guess is the word supported me through just taking a little break because I don't know people are gonna unsubscribe for all kinds of reasons, but it was nice to see people still clicking on videos and stuff because I like to check to make sure nobody tried to claim a video or whatever's going on. Um, and I appreciate that people were still clicking on stuff in my absence. It was nice sleeping. It was nice putting my mental and physical health as a priority. Um, and I think that is a form of support to just sit tight for a week or so while somebody takes a rest, gathers and collects themselves. So thank you. Um, Now would be a good time to insert an ad. Get that away. I could, I could just click that little money button. They have a button, I guess, now that lets you just insert ads, and every once in a while, the YouTube studio will be like, you could put an ad right here, Okay, chill. I'm good. I hope everyone's doing well. I uh, I just want to do a general saying hi, hanging out live stream. I always tell myself I need to have a plan or an agenda or an event, like the pumpkin carving streams and stuff like that, to do a stream on the main channel. And then I never think of anything. But I just wanted to talk about stuff, whatever we talk about and bring up. Ooh, before I could even mention it, thank you. Oh, thank you, NJ Vega. I hope I said that right, Vega Martin. I think you're really awesome. I've been watching you for quite a few years. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. Greater than 3. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the $5 donation, and thank you for your kind words. Morgan Terry. What's up, Morgan? How are you? Everybody go check out In Memory of Infinity Train. Everyone should go check out Morgan's video about Infinity Train. Once you're done watching all of my stuff. Not now. Later. Always good to see you, Morgan. Hope you're doing good. And thank you again. The name went away. That's so annoying. Oh, there you are. NJ Vega Martin. Thank you again for the 5. Um, I don't know. Hope everyone's doing good. Um, just wanted to, have another chill kind of thing because I kind of mentioned it in my community post thing, which I don't know how those things work either. I feel like if I don't include a link or a picture, more people interact with it, which makes me wonder if it gets boosted more, which is super weird. But I mentioned in there that a lot of my content, I'm a loud, emotional person. Um, a lot of it is not very relaxing, I don't think. Um, to hear me like get either like cheer or scream or cry or get mad. So I that's why I kind of have some of those videos. Granted, they don't do as well, but like the Hootie Hole Theory video or the Eddie Munson video. Sometimes I like to do, or the season 2 breakdown kind of thoughts thing on Owl House season 2. I like kind of having those in case someone wants to have something chill in the background, That's kind of how I've been taking in content lately, is just having something in the background while I'm like cleaning or doing dishes or making a thumbnail, something that doesn't require audio. I'll throw on something that's a little more laid back. Um, but so that's kind of the hope with these, because that was a neglected goal of 2022, was I wanted to do more live streams on the main channel. And then again, I keep convincing myself I need to do something specific, which is silly. But I do want to think of some things to do in the future and kind of get better at maneuvering through the streaming software and stuff while I'm live, because I get too nervous that I'm gonna like deactivate or disconnect or whatever. Oh, it's laundry day, so I'm wearing my own merch. Don't mind me. Thethirdbill.com if you want to support me there. Buy some merch or leave a donation. Thank you again to everyone who you can donate to the stream. You can leave a super thanks on a video. All that stuff really helps. And some of the super thanks I got recently helped me pay for some bills. So that was very much needed. So thank you. But background noise, chilling, thinking stuff. Have you noticed any questions or anything? I realize I haven't really set this up. I have the donation page up, and that's about it. But I guess I'll just get the sad thing out of the way, because it really did kind of put a damper on my week away, ending it with the removal of Infinity Train from HBO Max, just in time for them to try to tease us nerds back with dragons and Sad Zombie Show, based off of Sad Zombie video game, which I played on my gaming channel, Bill Chill Gaming. Plug. That's in the description. Speaking of the description, before we talk about stuff, I forgot to plug that. There's a link, as always, every video, every stream. There's a link in the description to a card that has resources for social awareness and education, mental health, and crisis lines, Trevor Project resources, things like that. Should you or someone you know need them. Back to business. Infinity Train. I'm debating making a video, just kind of in memoriam. Sounds intense, but memorializing it a bit, talking about my feelings and stuff. Something I would have liked to have done should the show have completed or continued, you know? Kind of give some thoughts there. I don't know if I'll end up liking it or not, my video. Just kind of talking about it, because also there's a lot of stuff there behind the scenes that's like hard to weed through. What's a sarcastic hot take and what's something that happened? Really, any creator whose work you like, I highly recommend keeping that little social media follow for them. I really hope I say her last name right. Lindsay Katai has been a great resource, just seeing tweets and updates and stuff as everything was kind of going down, as well as Owen Dennis, and tons of other people have been bringing it up as well. Especially after that first, like, I kind of call it that 48-hour is this real wave. Um, you know, did this really happen? Was this an error? Did they just have to hit the refresh button and now book one has the Max Original logo on it? What happened? Um, but I highly recommend listening to people smarter than me is what I'm trying to get at. Because I know it affects a lot of things on the back end. With especially like healthcare and things like that for people who've worked on the show. That's tends to be, it seems, where the residual back pay kind of goes to. Um, I know you can still get it digitally. Um, I'm not here to tell you whether or not your flag would mean death, but you can get it legitimately still digitally. Um, but I would recommend, if you go the digital purchase route, download it just in case, because they've done that a couple times with like some games and stuff, but also sometimes like a specific service. Even if you buy it or rent it or whatever, um you're paying for access to their library that has access to it. So if they lose access, you lose access, if that makes sense. That's happened to me. So just I would download it onto a hard drive or something if you go that route. Um, those are for the people who do not. I'm trying to think of the best way to get around saying the P word. Um, but if you do not want to go the route of your flag meaning death, there's always digital, but be careful. Yeah, I think some people got it perfect. But that really put a huge damper because I was like, oh, I want this to be like a fun stream. I hope it will be, but I don't know. I've been thinking about doing a video just kind of about that and kind of breaking down the show because I think it's just a crazy important show, and I don't know. I You want every video to be a hit. It's a bummer that my Infinity Train videos were never like huge, but that was such a helpful, because I started watching those right as I'm hitting that grieving point for when my grandpa passed away. For those of you who weren't around back then, um, one of my favorite people, one of the most perfect people on the planet, taught me right from wrong, how to tie my shoes, how to ride a bike, how to ride a car, drive a car. Um, he explicitly said I can't get on a moving car. He has told me that. He passed away late 2019, and then right before the 2020 stuff happened with the world, was about when I had discovered. You okay?
Yeah, drop the candy.
I could hear it. Sounded like your candy took a piss. Um, but you okay? You sure?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I can help. I don't mind.
No, it's okay. Everybody.
They need to think I'm helpful and nice. We can't let them know that I'm mean and rude. And I throw things on the ground and I'm like, pick it up.
You threw my candy with your telepathy.
I did. You're right. With great power. Um, the show really came into my life at like a really integral time, and I think a lot of people share that for one reason or another. Um, and it, like, especially book three, like really helped with just a lot of stuff. And I think it's really important people of all ages get to see that, and that's the detriment, it seems, of animation. But I think the beauty of its utilization is that animation is an ageless medium, especially if done right. You know, like that's kind of the golden age of Disney films, is like, haha, kids, but also haha, grown-up jokes. Danny DeVito called uh, Thebes the big olive. Get it? Like, it was a good blend, and I think something animated having those kind of themes and topics, even as early as book one, talking about, truly processing, I guess, to put it without spoilers, change. Um, I think those messages are really beautiful, and they were handled very well. And as someone who's had to deal with those things, as well as also wish I knew how to help support or be there for other people, it was great getting to see a lot of other things illustrated as well. Um, but I don't know. I just think it's a beautiful show, and I'd like to kind of give some final thoughts with the foolishly optimistic hope that someone will watch that video a year from now and be like, "What an idiot! He thought Infinity Train. It just ended up going to somewhere else." Um, but I don't know. I've been debating doing that this week, and I'm working on some wrap up thoughts for Arcane. I've been doing a rewatch of that. That was something I also saved for after my break was done because I knew if I were to sit down and watch something I've done content about, or currently doing content about, I'm just gonna turn it into work. Um, except for Infinity Train, I did as soon as people started smelling that poo. I'm like, I think I should do another because I usually have been doing it in the fall with Over the Garden Wall, which people have asked me to do videos about. They exist. I hope you watch them. Infinity Train's been part of my fall watching. Um, that nice spooky vibe, as well as there's leaves in Infinity Train. There's a oh god, there is a lot of it is fall. It's a fall show. It's an every time show, but uh I was like, I think I'm gonna push that up a little early, and sure enough, that turned out to be like the day before it vanished, at least here. Um, so I got to watch it all one last time. I got to enjoy all the um. Again, I'm trying to be like super vague because like I want people to just watch the show. If I were to do this video, I would totally do spoilers and stuff, warnings and things. Um, but it was nice getting to watch it all again. I still highly recommend it, especially because I don't think the show's expensive if you wanted to go the digital purchasing route. If you wanted to go to another route, I wouldn't know how to help you with that. But they they set it up. They set up the Jenga tower. It's not your fault if you knock it down. I don't know anything. Please buy a shirt with my crying face on it or my not crying face on it. Um,
Just do safe research.
it's so weird because like I'm not. No one pays me. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I still feel like I have to kind of play that devil's advocate because in a perfect world, this is just Candyland, and everyone gets houses and food and health insurance and stuff. But like, I don't know. I feel like I also don't want to just go do whatever you want, but I'm also not going to stop you. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I feel like it would be like when my older sister or I to my younger sister, when one of us would catch someone doing something, it'd be like, all right, if mom finds out, I'm not backing you up, but I won't tell mom either. Um, I still highly recommend that show. And I've been taking some arcane notes and stuff to kind of do. I'm debating doing it because I don't know, like who. I can't wrap my mind around who that video would be for. I guess every video is technically for me to want to give to other people. I like sharing the experience of what's this? Um, even if some people don't get that all the time, it's no context. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're right. I'm gonna miss a lot of stuff.
I've started the rumor in chat that you're 8'2", by the way.
Oh, why'd you round down? I'm 9'6".
Nice.
Thanks. Uh, I'm working on that because I don't know. I mean, you're never gonna get everything, no matter how many times you watch something. It is definitely, it's a different experience knowing what's ahead. I've been writing a ton of notes. Like this is, like my little notebook boy over here. This is what I've been using for a while. It's compact. It's nice. It's light. She's gone. Filled up the whole book, so I'm back to big ones. And I've definitely, this is still the most pages I've taken up in a while. And it is fun to go in and I know what I'm watching now and what I'm in for and breaking it down and stuff. Catching things I didn't catch. Um, I hope people would find that interesting. I don't know. Um, but I mean, I did it for Encanto, and people liked that. Which, thank you again. That's still, I think that is still my number one video. Let's not pretend like I don't check to see if more people have watched it recently. Um, so I might do that. I think that would be fun. Um, Especially because like lots of lots of comments. You didn't notice this, or maybe I wasn't clear on a point because in the moment I'm watching stuff happen. But I also go back and do my best to break down everything, but I don't know what's going to resonate with people. So I've been taking a lot of notes, like, but I don't know which ones are helpful. Like somebody tried bringing up uh, the efficiency of Victor locking the door when he does his experiments, and I wrote, "Ha! See it right here, yeah. See, Victor barricaded the lab door at episode 3. Ha ha! So he can lock the door more, and there's 4 locks in that door." Then I'm like, is this worth it? Who am I making this video for? um, but it's been fun kind of going back. Fun's a relative word, you know what I mean. I even struggle saying this is fun in those videos, but it's been enriching, like most things. Like I've really been noticing the use of lighting a lot more now that I'm not screaming and praying openly that everybody just uses their words and we don't have conflicts. Um, it's been really cool. So I'm kind of working on that right now. Um, I want to do Bee and Puppy Cat. Half the stuff I was looking forward to doing is like getting thrown into a garbage bin or canceled, or I just don't have the energy. Because I've been debating doing Invincible, and I'm like, I've been told that's going to take a lot out of me. Um, and each episode's an hour. You don't understand how long it took, because I did the Arcane soundtrack video a while ago, knowing that it would take a lot of time to do that video, but also I'm like, if I do the first couple of episodes, that's 3 hours of show, and then also me talking for an eternity. So that's another 9-10 hours of me talking that I have to sift through into like 100 or less functional sentences and then settle for 200 semi-functional sentences. This took a minute, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to jump into another, like, what is it? I guess technically it's like 45, 46 minutes or something, but like hour-long episodes. I still have to get settled. I still have to get all my farts and burps out before I start filming. That's a little BTS for you. Gotta make sure I hydrate and go potty before I watch a sad show for several hours. Um, I want to do Bee and Puppy Cat when that drops. Is that on Netflix?
I think so.
I think so. That's such a. That's such. I don't know how to keep up with that. Oh, it leaked, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch the leak. Watch it for real. I'm sorry that it leaked. Leaking is bad. TM. Um, I'm trying to like pick some stuff that I want to do, and sometimes I consider like going out of my wheelhouse, like, but I also need to figure out how certain certain genres and companies handle things traditionally. Like I've been debating doing like a whole thing about Sailor Moon, because when I think in the lexicon of shows where I was like, that's for girls, me. Definitely Sailor Moon is one of them. My little sister and I think my older sister watched it too, begrudgingly possibly. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm 6. I'm too old for this.
I have been
So
begging to watch Sailor Moon.
I know, but I'm like, can I make that into a video the way I do things? Would I be allowed to? What's this one to watch? And then you get into the, do I do dubs or subs? It has to be dubs if I do my traditional format, because I need to be able to sync little images with the audio, or I'm gonna get confused. But I think that would be really interesting just to kind of jump in there, because that's kind of how a lot of stuff started. Is like, I avoided this so I wouldn't get bullied, and it's like now I love Lady Gaga and don't care what people think as much, except for when they're mean on the internet or nice on the internet. I also care what nice people think more so, if I'm being honest. And sometimes I think about getting back into like music stuff. Every time I've dabbled in the last couple of months with doing a video about music, it hasn't gone great. And I don't know if that's the algorithm or people's attention or want for those kind of videos. And then it's like, well, I don't know how to focus on what makes the algorithm happy and what makes me and the audience happy. So that's been something that's been floating around my mind, and it's hard to keep up. Like, I feel like as soon as we hit a certain point, everybody basically, I think it was Taylor Swift, if I'm being honest, who kind of changed the landscape of things by going, tee I dropped an amazing album out of nowhere, and everyone went, you can do that? So sometimes I'll see this artist or this band did something new with no warning. I don't get to plan anything anymore. It just exists now. And I follow them every just about, I think almost everybody I make videos about, I follow on social media just in case. And then it's like, oh, you've made 3 CDs since the last time I made a video about you. Cool. Oops. Or you have the Billie Eilish Happier Than Ever fiasco, which is just for me moving, where I filmed it, and like the lighting was awful and wasn't balanced. The microphone wasn't plugged in right and wasn't working. I couldn't use the footage. There was no audio to recover. And then I was like, oh, I'll do the Disney Plus concert when that drops. And then I had a whole different problem there. I learned if the air conditioner is on or the heater, it washes out all the audio when I'm sitting on the couch. I'm very grateful to have air conditioning and heat, but that was unusable. And I'm like, well, now this isn't there's no reaction anymore. And then I kind of just got two in my head about doing a review. I feel like I kind of missed an opportunity to just do a review. Because then I got two in my head that people would want that. So that's just in the ether. And plus, like I said, like the way the algorithm and stuff works, it's like when I've done music videos lately, or videos about music, it's like I've got an EP dropping. When I do videos about music lately, they haven't been getting a lot of attention, and I couldn't tell if that's algorithm or interest or what. I miss the times where I just didn't think so much about this, and I don't know if that's hindering me or helping me to be more connected to that. But I don't know. A lot of that is stuff I have to work out on my own. But I've been debating doing that a lot, because I want to find like nice like Halloweeny things for fall. I'm officially extending fall. It's already started on my gaming channel. I'm getting the true ending of the Quarry right now. Screw it. If they're gonna shove the holidays down my throat from like October 17th to January 10th, then I can start doing spooky things in August. But I don't know. And I like trying out different things. Like no one really cared and no one really watched it, but I'm pretty proud of my Eddie Munson video. That was a subject I was very passionate about, given the genre introduced into Stranger Things. But I get it. It's not like I've done a million videos about Stranger Things, but I hate the idea of just talk about one thing. No, I want to talk about all the things. So I don't know. Like, I'm bouncing around with a lot of different ideas, but I do want to wrap up Arcane a little bit, because I found a lot of cool stuff now that, like I said, like once you know, huh?
Somebody in chat pointed out, Danielle pointed out, it's 69 days until Halloween.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good. Good. That's when it starts. I just like spooky things. I want to play spooky games, and don't let people convince you that you can't be afraid of things. And also, like, if something scares you, that means you don't like scary things. Don't let people tell you that.
Or just conquer your fear of the nun in The Conjuring 2 like I did, and just
Yeah.
become attracted to it to gaslight yourself.
I was about to say that. I um like I want to find ways to kind of incorporate my love of this spooky scary skeleton time of year. Um just one of my favorites, like, cuz I remember I couldn't tell you what video it was, but for a while I would get a lot of those where it's like, Bill, I love horror. Also, Bill, ew, gross, ew, scary, ew, and it's like, I'm not scared of anything, and it's like, cool, I'm scared of everything. I love this. Like, you're supposed to be at least a little disturbed. You know, clown comes chasing you from the sewer. You could freak out a little bit. You're allowed. Um, um, but yeah, I used to sneak horror movies when I was a little kid and got in a lot of trouble. My dad kind of like overdid it with horror growing up and definitely traumatized me for life with The Exorcist. Think I would have been a completely different person. Um, and you know, like I said, like I also get comments. People are like, you should check out Over the Garden Wall. I did. Please go check that out. I can't think of ones. I want more Over the Garden Walls. Um, because I don't know. Like I can't think of too many off the top of my head. Um, but I always like celebrating that time of year, and I really want to find some ways to kind of do that. Um, like I said, I'm gonna be playing lots of, if not scary games, Halloween themed games on the gaming channel. Go check that out. If we hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna play Evil Undertale. So go subscribe. um, I don't know if we'll ever get to it, but I also have a secret goal for should this channel ever hit 200K. It's a tattoo I've wanted for a very long time, and I will get it if I ever get to 200K. It's a long way away. Who knows? What? Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
No, I'm just breathing.
Oh. Could you breathe quieter?
No, I'll breathe louder.
Hee hee hoo, hee hee hoo. So I don't know. I like getting into that season, but like I said, it's hard to find stuff, and then it's also hard to find stuff because in the historical efforts to scare us through pop culture, a lot of that has been upon revelation with a modern lens, a misuse of culture or information or lacking of information. So it's also like I want to find scary things, but not, you know, shit about digging up a different culture's grave and going, ew, gross, are those band-aids on your face? And calling it a mummy. Feels weird when you think about it too long. So it's hard to kind of find things that I'll also like enjoy. And then also then there's the other side of things where it's like, wow, thank you for this very poignant commentary. I don't feel safe in my house. The strangers did things to me. That was one of those where I'm like, that's right. I too live in a house with a door. Um, but I don't know. Still trying to brainstorm a little bit while playing keep up with some other things. And then I don't know. I've been thinking about also doing, like, I don't know. I talked about it a bit just now with the with Happier Than Ever. Like, I don't know if people would want to see something I'm already familiar with, or if filming something goes wrong, say something happens to my microphone again or something, like just doing a review, you know? Because that also happened with Inside Job, something else. That's happened to me a couple of times that I'm like, well, it's fucked. You only get one take. Because after that, it's like, I know this from 20 minutes ago. And I don't know. And that's something that's something I never really want to compromise. You know, if I've seen something, and I've done that, like I really wish I had just filmed myself watching Encanto if I had known how much people were gonna watch Encanto videos at the time. But I wasn't gonna sit like, wait, hold on, there's magic. Like, I saw it. I didn't think much of me seeing it, and then I was like, ah, damn, this could have made a video. But oh well. Um, so it's like I'm also gonna be honest in that sense. If I'm familiar with something or watch something, because that happens sometimes too. Some people are like, "Have you ever heard of this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a lot." I can't think of too many off the top of my head, but that's happened a couple times with people like, "Have you ever heard of this?" And I'm like, "Yep, yes, I have." Um, or sometimes it's a nice surprise, like My Chemical Romance video is one that always comes to mind fast, where I didn't know that "I'm Not Okay" was a My Chemical Romance song because I just knew it from video mods. If anyone remembers that from MTV2, who did video mods?
There was an MTV2?
There's like several. There's a VH1 and an MTV2. Together they make Me.
The youth of today will never understand just one MTV.
When did reality become TV?
I want Duran Duran.
So what if you can see? Um, so I don't know. That's another thing that's a bummer is like, do I want to like do like draft something out, like see if people like more of the talkie things, or I'm just thinking and stuff. And also sometimes I'm like, I don't want to ruin it because sometimes I think about like doing something for like Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm like, there's sometimes I worry if I think about it too long, I'm gonna ruin something about this for myself. You know, because I don't know. Sometimes I get that vibe from people in comments where it's like you overthought, thought about, or didn't think about this, and now I'm mad. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna think of everything, but you also clicked on this video instead of just watching the thing. I'm choosing to make a video, so it kind of inherently runs the risk of how much longer can I think about Nightmare Before Christmas before I start to question the whole thing? You know, I don't think that would happen with it, but it's always that chance. I don't know. I guess I could just always do the is it a Christmas or is it a Halloween movie? It's both. Dallin Weeks taught me that on Twitter. It's called magic. That's the beauty of it. Watch it whatever the hell you want. Um, but I don't know. I really want to find something that like piques my interest in that way. Ideally, it's something new. Because I don't know. I like my format. I know not everybody likes to pay attention to what it is because some people, how did you not notice this? And I'm like, it's my first time watching it, or you spoiled something for me several episodes from now. That was a big obstacle with Arcane, where it's like, this thing about this character, and I'm like, I haven't gotten there yet, but thanks for that. Um, but it's like, I like checking out new stuff and like seeing what happens without the context. Because I don't know, you can always Google it. There's always an interview or commentary track or a podcast. I like just kind of diving in. Um, I think it's fun, and I don't know. It's also hard then to find stuff because like even on just this last week, like we finished up Better Call Saul.
Ah,
Fantastic show. I love watching sensitive men destroy their lives, and that's what all the Breaking Bad universe is sensitive men fucking shit up. Um, but I watched the crap out of the Sandman, and then I'm like, maybe I could have done a video about that, and I'm like, no one really gave a lot of love to the Eddie Munson videos, so I'm like, maybe live action isn't the way to go yet. I don't know. Which the first time I tried to do live action was Heartstopper, and that was a disaster. Like, you can't unbully me. That poor show. Like, it's called Heartstopper. I think I've talked about this before in a previous stream. I thought like those kids were going to like die because it's about stopping hearts. And it was just me screaming and sweating and being stressed and upset for a very long time. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is not helpful. If anything, this would compromise the safe space people take from this show. So I was like, fuck it. I'm not making a video where all I do is scream in terror that something, because like think like it really helped me reflect on the queer representation in media I've had growing up or lack thereof, or when you do see it, it's tragic, you know? So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, they're dead. They're all dead. Their hearts are stopping. Help. I do know that there's books, so maybe reading the book might be a fun experience. I don't know. I was just so scared constantly. And like I think that's media growing up mixed with my own experiences with like bullying and bullshittery and all that. But I'm like, this isn't helpful to anybody. So I don't know. Every time I've tried to do something live action, either it just doesn't happen or it just didn't go well. Plus, I don't know. I think there's always something I've been more interested in with animation anyway. I think it's because the entire environment can be manipulated. So, like I have a lot of notes about Mel's lighting in Arcane. And it's like, that's all artificial. It wasn't, oh no, we just kept filming at high noon. And that's why the sun was in that spot. Like, no, like the lighting, because granted, you can set up lighting equipment and stuff, right? But there's like zero accidents in animation. So when I start to notice something, it's like, well, that had to happen. Someone had to put something like that in. And I think there's just something magic about it because really, it's witchcraft. It's the devil's medium. Pictures shouldn't move, and yet we find a way to make them move. And I don't know. That's something that's always been a big love and appreciation of like my whole family, to the point where I'm like, why didn't anyone ever encourage me to like draw things? But also I suck at drawing. Because like we'd always go see the Pixar movies when they come out, Disney movies. Like I remember my grandpa took me to Corpse Bride purely because we were both like, hey, it's like Jack Skellington, but he's got skin now. It was fine. But I remember my grandpa taking me to see Corpse Bride. He loved animation so much, and like all of us did in my family. Um, but I don't know. I think it kind of takes me back to that a bit. And it's fun because like also, I don't know. I think it mostly happened with like something like Game of Thrones, but I also hated um feeling kind of like left out from pop culture things, and then I would watch the thing, and either like I wasn't a big fan or I got in way too late, so it was like super overhyped for me. Like in a time before trying to stand, someone secretly filmed me watching the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, and I was just like, I know. I also don't remember who half these people are because there's too many characters. But I'm like, yeah, no, everyone told me about this already. And I guess he found it very disappointing that I didn't really respond. He's like, you usually respond like you're so emotional and you respond in big ways. I wanted it on film, so you're gonna lose your shit. And I'm like, the world has talked about this 50 times, so it's like trying to hit that sweet spot of like finding something I like, finding something to talk about, even before making videos, like talk about it with other people. But it's also nice to kind of do it on my own first and then just edit my way through it. Um, because like holy crap, like I think if because I feel like if someone were to sell say Amphibia on me now, because people were bringing it up as the second season was like starting, but I think people would be like, oh, true colors, you'll scream, you'll cry. And then I'd be like, where's the part where I'm screaming and crying? Where's the part where I'm going to scream and cry? Wait, I recognize the name of this episode. Oh no, like it'd be a completely different experience than just, oh, that sounds cool. And then screaming and crying the whole way through. um, at least one show I've been watching lately gets to just happen and complete itself. Um, I don't know. I've been enjoying kind of doing that more because also the I think the escapism is easier and healthier for me right now than music. I think music grounds me a lot in its story. Unless we're gonna start listening to a lot of cool proggy stuff, uh, most of the time music keeps me grounded in reality and exploring reality, and I don't really want to do a lot of that right now. Um, and when I do, like I said, attention seems to be kind of lacking for it. Maybe I'm just picking the wrong stuff, uploading bad, who knows. Um, but people watch the animation stuff. I like watching animation, so win-win. Let's keep it going.
Oh, MJ said, kind of weird, which I don't think it is, but you're one of my favorite comfort YouTubers, and you make my days better.
Thank you. That's not weird. I guess it'd be weird if you dropped a donation and was like, dude, I hate you, but thanks for the 5. Right, this is the same person who donated earlier. Right? Or is my memory off?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But no, that's not weird. Thank you. That's very kind. Um,
Oh, that's kind of a good question that I don't think you've directly talked about, recently at least, but making your own content and any tips for somebody who's looking to start getting into that outlet as well.
um, especially at the beginning, I'd say that feeling you're gonna get that this is awful and everybody's out to get me. This system, this algorithm is out to get me. It is. Ignore that voice and keep going at it because we really like to tell ourselves like, oh man, like you know eh, they're here to help, like the tools and studio and stuff is here to support me. It is, but you're gonna feel like everything's out to get you and nothing makes sense. You're right, none of it makes sense. Keep going. um that's even how I feel now. I'm like, why doesn't everything hit 100K? I have 150,000 subscribers. Did you forget me? Do I suck? Did I do something wrong? What happened? And it's like, well, algorithms, you know, what did I do something dumb with my thumbnail? What time am I uploading? My tagging right? What day of the week as well as what time and stuff. It's a lot of trial and error, so just I'd say keep note of what works when it works and what doesn't when it doesn't, if that makes any sense. Because first time I made a video that more than just a couple people watched, it was on accident. We were watching Lady Gaga win an Oscar for A Star Is Born, and I said, "Oh, is this what she was doing? Because she hasn't made music in so long." And Alana said, "You're stupid. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, I don't. Has she been still making music? I assumed she was making this movie instead. No. And I wanted to document that experience, and here we are. Um, uh, I guess also be better than me. Work through processing the possibility of negativity. Alana actually said the best thing about that. First time I got a really shitty comment that like really got under my skin, and Alana just went, "Well, at least it's not one of your friends or a family member. That's a stranger. Only a stranger would say something that shitty." And I'm like, "You think, but yeah, I guess that's true." Like, I guess if one of my sisters or my mom or my dad or my grandma or somebody wanted to like shit on me, they would just call me and say that I'm a disappointment or something, not put it in a YouTube comment. Um, but I guess that would be a good one because that's really helped me a lot, even as I still navigate it. Although now I feel like I'll see a comment not think it's hostile or negative, respond in earnest, and then it feels hostile and negative when the person responds again, and it feels like things have escalated emotionally. And I'm like, oh, I genuinely was asking if you had seen the rest of the video or wanted to like further explain my point in case it wasn't clear. My bad. I guess I should have just ignored this. And my grandma's such a sweetheart. She was waiting for a radiology appointment, and she's calling to check in on my stupid stomach bug that I had because she remembered I said that I wasn't feeling good. She's doing good, by the way. She's resting. Um, she was waiting for her radiology appointment, asking about my tummy, and then she reminded me to I can't make everybody happy because I told her a couple of comments had really upset me because I'm like, I try my hardest to be like clear, but sometimes I think it's my honest reaction. Sometimes I just shout things or get emotional and it's not going to make sense in the moment, or it's not going to come across the same way as somebody who can script something out, say it, ponder how the wording is, say it again, and then edit in the better take and cut out the one that didn't make sense. And I was trying to explain it to my grandma, and she just goes, "You've always wanted to make everybody happy, and you never will." And there was an awkward pause, and she's like, "And that's not a bad thing." And I'm like, "Thank you, Grandma. Good luck with radiology." Um, it's very sweet of her.
I have a question that kind of ties into this from Connor. How do you maintain a solid work-life balance?
Um, you don't. You just have to set boundaries for yourself, but I don't know how that works. I mean, we'll see how it goes in these next couple of videos, but like taking a week off was good for my brain and my body, but YouTube is YouTube. And like I said, sometimes you feel like you're battling the algorithms more than people, but also I feel like people can tell, you can tell when you're burnt out and you're looking at your own footage back. You can tell, but I think other people can tell. So that always has to come first to the best of your abilities. I wish I was better at it so I can explain that a little better. Um, because also my plan was to, choose to quit my job once hitting a certain point and I feel comfortable doing that, not get laid off and then hope that making videos work out. Because it's still not sustainable or working out. Please keep clicking things, buy shirts, like and subscribe. Um, but I guess I would say pick how I've been kind of doing it lately is pick a couple of boundaries for yourself. Um, because it used to be I would just be up until like 3 or 4 in the morning editing until something was done, and I'll go to sleep while it's uploading, and that'll just be that. And that wasn't very good for me. So I keep to a bedtime. However, when I'm really excited about a video, I've noticed I ignore my bedtime, so to speak, and that bedtime changes because like week by week, Owl House videos, the episodes are dropping at like 2 a.m. my time or something. I have to take a nap beforehand, down a pot of coffee, and get ready to not sleep for a while. But I try to sleep before that. Um, but like I notice, oh, I'm staying up late editing because I'm into it, not because I'm like forcing myself. Not to say that version of life is healthy either, but like adhering to those boundaries for yourself, and you know, sometimes sticking to it super good. Sometimes I catch myself, like I said, not sticking to it, and it's because I'm having fun. So I guess when you're not having fun, adhere yourself to some boundaries. Like I try my best to, like I said, um, if it's like 7, 8 o'clock, and I've been editing all day, I've got a clear path for when I pick up tomorrow. This is a good point to stop. Remember to eat, remember to drink water, go to the bathroom, live your life. Because also, you kind of want to live your life, and just things beyond what you make content about. That was a tip I was given in my pursuit of entertainment and comedy. Um, that's So why some pop culture didn't pass me by was because it's like, hey, watch the Twilight movies so you can make a reference in case somebody shouts Edward Cullen at an improv show or something. So keep boundaries and always find time for you to do something that's not content related. You know? I don't know if that made sense.
Another cue was
Hello?
I don't remember, it was from Connor again, but have you been recognized in public? And if so, what was that experience like?
Back when there was a public, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every once in a while. A couple of times. It's always lovely. It's always nice. This was back, back when you could hug a stranger and not freak out about it. But it was always nice. Like everyone's been super nice. I feel like I'm super weird because it's like, oh, cool, and like I need to like ask a question because I remember this I don't want to be rude and say little girl, but like early teenager, like late middle school, early high school. She came up to me with her parents, came up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, did you do a Billie Eilish video?" And I'm like, "Yes, indeed, I did." And we're all here to see a Billie Eilish concert. And I'm like, "Thank you. That's so cool you like my video." And there's like awkward pause and I'm like, "Do you have good seats?" And then like the parents looked at me weird and I'm like, "I made a YouTube video. Hi, please stand closer so this isn't like a weird exchange." That made it even weirder. I think about that a lot. And I hope that kid is doing okay.
There was also the weird moment where, like, because we had adult beverages. And
oh, yeah. I was also holding a beer and I had to, like, pass it behind my back to you when I saw this, like, 13, 14-year-old girl go, "I like your YouTubes." And I'm like, eat green vegetables, stay in school. But, I'm super weird.
I think you have been recognized without the hat. But
when am I ever out and about without the hat?
Well, I think it was a C2E2. You had a baseball cap on.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, C2E2. No, C2E2, I wore one of these beanies because I was like a combination of Max and Chloe from Life is Strange.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I had the Jane Doe shirt, but then I had the hoodie and the beanie. I don't have hair to dye blue, but we can pretend. Let's LARP me some hair, please. Some people recognized me. And yeah. It's always very lovely. But I feel like it was like the second or third time ever was that kid at the Billie Eilish concert. I'm like, I don't know why, like I had to exchange like coffee water cooler pleasantries. So you got good seats? Like, what's up? This is weird. Thanks for watching the video, because I didn't even piece that together. I'm like, this would be fun to go. I want to see Billie Eilish live. I've done some videos about her. They've gone well. And then I'm there and like a handful of people had walked up and been like, "Are you Bill?" And I'm like, "Why? What happened?" "Oh, yes, I am. Hi." But that was also very, very new. But yeah, I'm sure that was a very weird exchange for that kid. And yeah, other than that, just pleasantries, usually like out and about or at concerts and stuff. I'm very good at moving around incognitus. All I have to do is change the hat. Y'all don't know who I am anymore. Didn't someone freak out? We were at like a restaurant and you heard someone say 21 Pilots YouTube video.
Yeah, and that person kept like staring.
Yeah, kept like staring,
elbowing their sibling or whoever they were with.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
I think you're getting
But I'm like, they can't recognize me. I'm not wearing the beanie. I'm wearing a baseball cap. You don't know who I am when I wear the baseball cap. I think it's become a security blanket for me. Because that goes through my head sometimes. Like I'll be walking out of like the liquor store or something with like a thing of beer and some kid's gonna walk up and be like, "I love your videos about the Owl House," and I'm gonna be holding like booze and be like, "Stop, where are the adults watching you? Because please don't follow me any further than you are." But I think that's just I think it just incorporates my Truman Show paranoia because in sixth grade we had to write a report on the Truman Show, and I was convinced people were like watching me at all times. Um, so I think that just kind of that narcissistic paranoia of everybody's watching you. The reality is, no, they're not. You stumble and trip on the sidewalk. Maybe one person will notice when you do it. They're not going to think about it 5 minutes from now, and I will for 5 years. That's my brain.
Yeah.
Um, are you reading donos? Am I being rude?
No, you're not
Or are you
being.
just reading chat?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just
I
reading
didn't
that.
want to like realize I'm not.
You're good. I think the most recognized event it was ironically, and it makes sense because of the timeline, right before COVID, which was the 21 Pilots concert.
That and C2E2.
Yeah.
Very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
lovely person came up to me and like asked for a hug, which thank like always ask, always ask. I don't care what's going on, always ask. You'll probably always get a yes. At least from me. I like hugging. Maybe when things are a little safer for hugging, but she asked me for a hug, told me how much she liked my videos. She started crying. I started crying. It was amazing. And
Do you want a picture?
I was like, "Do you want to take a picture?" And we're both like rosy cheeked from like having just like bawled our eyes out, and we're just at C2E2. Hey, because I had made the joke because it was cold because it was like February, and I had worn my Billie Eilish hoodie, which I was wearing a lot in my videos at the time, and I'm like, haha, I'm cosplaying as me, and then somebody recognized me. It's very sweet. But yeah, that would be that would be the last time, and I can't think of too many public outings we've done since then. I think I've gone to like two things, and even then you can't see my face when I go out in public, being safe and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's always nice. But yeah, I've convinced myself. I think the mask probably helps nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I just change my hat, I'm convinced no one will notice me.
Most relatable fictional character for you? That's a good question.
Fuck you. That's such a good and like challenging question. Um, off the top of my head, and probably because um I did my binge of like this destroys me and I need it every once in a while. On my grandpa's birthday, I watched my favorite uh Zuko and Iroh episodes. So I'll throw out Zuko for now. There's a lot of reasons why we're also not very similar, but his story really, that's one of the and like I still stand by like watching that right at the ages that I did because I watched like the first half of Avatar, and then like the my friend who I would watch it with, I moved, so I couldn't really keep with when it was like doing reruns and stuff, and I watched the rest of it when it dropped on Netflix before the awful movie. Um, I finally like finished it, and I was just like bawling my eyes out. Um, so not I guess not so much Zuko, but the Zuko Iroh relationship. Um, Now would be a good time to insert ads. I don't know. I'm not getting a lot of donations. Maybe I gotta make that bread and hurt everybody's ears. I hate these boxes. Make it go away. It's like it covers everything. Like I can't see my face. I can't see y'all talking.
Lily!
What's up?
5 Canadian, or five, sorry, California dollars.
Hey, Lily. There it is. Thank you, Lily, for the five, the $5 California. Thank you for the five. Hi, love your videos, Bill. Have you ever checked out the album Affirmations by Echoes? It is very good and has amazing lyrics to dive into. Um, I have not, but I got my notebook in front of me. I had no promises on a video, but I'll check it out. Because the other thing that sucks too, like sometimes I'm like, I want to listen to Megan the Stallion, and maybe I should have done videos about her instead. Too late now. Um, oh, Affirmations by Echoes. I wrote it backwards. um, I guess a more recent one would be um, like Hootie and Hunter. I think those two from the Owl House really hit me. But I don't know, fictional character that I feel like I don't know.
I just pictured Hootie like, "Ah!" attacking you. I don't know. Hootie hit me.
Well, I mean, there's something about like that emotional, silly, goofy, speaks without thinking, like that reactiony way about him. Um, that really hits. The character I aspire to be, would be comfortable Doug. I don't know if I'll ever truly be comfortable, but he's a legend. I don't know. That's a really that is such a heavy question. There's a million of them. I don't know. I think it'd be easier just to find fictional characters I don't relate to. I'm also turning away from the mic because I'm like, Brr. I don't know. And I gotta keep talking too. If I just leave everything in silence, what are we doing?
If you move your mouth, I'll talk for you. Albert Company rules.
Ah, you suck. Damn you. um, Max from I guess Goof Troop 2, but a Goofy movie. That one really hits me. I love a Goofy movie. Both of them. Although I never could figure out how to skateboard. Um, I don't know.
Hi, Bill, frequent lurker. I want to say that I hope you're well and I love your videos. You've been a big source of positivity and comfort lately. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And that too is a big source of comfort and positivity. So thank you. Um, that really does mean a lot because, like, I think that's been the biggest, not the biggest, but like one of the biggest, like, things that I tend to ignore a lot when I get in my head about creating is like so much of this experience, kind of per the question of like being recognized in public, like so much of this experience has been in isolation. I'm just talking in an empty room. Sometimes Alana's here. Sometimes there's a stream and there's chat. But so much of this has been so isolated that like sometimes I feel like I'm truly just talking to myself forever. So thank you.
Got a dono.
Hey, Braden Preston. Thank you for the 5. I was having a tough day, beating myself up a bit, but listening to you has been very calming. Thanks for being such a chill dude. Well, thank you. I hope everything gets a little better for you. You know, it's okay to have, um, it's okay to have not okay days. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have those rough days. You know, I hope whatever's going on, you know, remember to take some time for you, even if it's just a glass of water, or when I like to go for walks in the winter. It gets really bad outside, so I'll do like laps around like my apartment. That always kind of helps. Hope you find a little time for yourself and sort through the gunk. I'm hoping today gets a little better. And thank you for the 5.
Phantom Kitten asked, how vocal are you when making a reaction video compared to when you're just watching something on your own? I said that I noticed no difference, but I'd leave that up to you to confirm.
I think there's a bit of a difference because I am more considerate when there's multiple people around, but there have been times we're watching something and I'm like, I just noticed this little thing and I'm pretty sure that's how this is gonna end. And you'll go, all right, no. And then 2 hours later, or a couple episodes later, you'll be like, you know what? Screw you. Like, keep your predictions to yourself.
Yeah.
That happened a lot, especially with Better Call Saul. Like, I'll be like, oh, this happened. I think it's going to be this, or this is what's going to happen. And then it comes true and you get mad.
Well, to be fair though, in the same vein, we kind of trade off on that, but you're a lot more
Hmm.
into that because I'm out of practice.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a curse. My prophecies.
My
Um,
student debt.
my student. Well, yeah. You might as well forgive it because I'm not gonna be able to ever pay it. I'm not gonna. Um, but I don't know. I think it comes and goes. I mean, obviously, if I'm at like a movie theater or something back in those days, um, I try to be considerate, but you know, things get to me. Things still impact me in certain ways, but also I like the privacy of being alone because like nothing's worse than like someone eating something or doing something and you're like trying to get into the movie. Morgan, thank you, Morgan, for the 5. A little something for your hard work, and thanks for being such an amazing person. Also, recommend listening to More Than Friends by Meals the Lumity song. What? Is this like, first off, thank you, Morgan. Um, is this More Than Friends? Is this like the Green Hair Don't Care? Is this like the unofficial fandom song that people associate with the show? Did I miss something?
I think it might
Bill,
just
you missed the musical episode of The Owl House. It's a whole season 3. It's great. Meelz. Meals? Am I saying? I hope I'm saying that right. That's something I get my head about a lot. More Than Friends. But thank you, Morgan, for the 5. Um, I have not heard it though, as I think I just kind of revealed. Oh no, you recommended it. I'll check it out. Is that like the Green Hair Don't Care?
oh, it's a
It's a
fan
fan made
song.
song. Cool. Okay. Jinx. Um, dope. Then yeah. No, then I'll check that out. Um, because yeah, I don't even think I listened to the Green Hair Don't Care thing. I just remember people commenting that and someone having to like set me aside and go like, "Oh, it's a reference." Because I think that was big when season 1 was happening, and I didn't even start watching season 1 until it was like almost all available on D now.
Uh,
I hate feeling like I hate every company and yet want to promote the artistry of the shows. God, my little sister's really good at helping me through that. It's been a while since we've been able to like fully catch up on the phone, but it was right before I was doing Critical Role, and I'm like, but it's on Amazon Prime and Jeffrey Bezos. And then she just went, well, Bill, by that logic, don't do anything. You can't watch The Owl House anymore. And I'm like, but I like The Owl House. She's like, yep. Well, I don't know. She just has a really good job at helping me through that kind of stuff. But that's something to celebrate. I saw sometimes my own videos get recommended to me, which is flattering. Thank you,
Flex.
YouTube. Yeah, the my first Owl House video about season 1 hit 100K. That's super dope. I really sat there and went, "Oh, cool! It's kind of like Halloween. That's fun." I'll never forgive any of you for like 75% of the content that I make. Haha. You should listen to 21 Pilots. Haha. You should listen to Alec Benjamin. You have a sister. Lily, thank you for the 20 the 20 Canadian, almost to California again. Goodbye for now, but these few minutes I've been chilling with everyone was great. Hope everyone has a good day/night and keep being yourselves because that's the best you that you can ever be. Hope that makes sense, XD. Thank you, Lily. That does make sense. And the sentiment of being who you are is always felt, no matter how we word it. Thank you, Lily. Appreciate the donation. Have a good rest of your night. Hope you're good. And thanks for stopping by, and thank you again for donating. Um, Sleep well. Drink water. Check out the rest of the stream when you wake up. Click all my stuff. You should be listening to me as you doze off. You should be listening to me as your day starts. all my content all the time. I'm the water that you should always be drinking. But thank you for real. Whoa. Oh, I'm gonna do my best. Thank you for
Argentina.
the 50 Argentina. Holly. Oh, I want to say this right.
Argentina.
I also keep getting thrown off because somebody broke down the colors, tell you how much something is. So now I want to say $5 because I know that teal color generally means it's about five. And so then I stare at the 50 and go, no, no, wait. And then I go, ooh, what's an ARS? Thank you, Polyphonica Studio.
They're the artist who did Santa Slug.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Bill, longtime viewer, first time donator. Love your videos and vibes. I know this isn't much. I hope it helps you guys. Cheers from Argentina. Every dollar helps. Don't. Generosity and kindness is always helpful. You kidding me? So thank you. And thank you for Santa Slug. Um, and a cheers back to me from me to Argentina. But thank you for the donation, and I'm glad that everything gives you uh good that it gives you good vibes. Um, and no, every bit helps. You know that goes to donation stuff goes to food and bills and rent and saving money for better and nicer equipment. Um, because yeah, as long as I can do my best to make this my focus, it'll stay my prime focus, you know, because I want to do something that I actually like. So no, every dollar helps. Every dollar keeps the content going and the channel alive. Every click, every like, clicking stuff. If you don't want to or unable to give, clicking stuff also helps. Um, but no, thank you. I don't know. I get it. I'm very much the same way where I'm like, oh, like it's just a silly shirt that I want to get, or oh, I'm just gonna quietly donate to this stream, and like it doesn't matter. And it's like, nah, dude, like that helps. Value yourself and the kindness, you know. And that does help a lot. So thank you. I'm sorry I don't have anything exciting. That's something I've been trying to think up for a while. Um, on top of more um like more merch in the future and stuff. Like I'm also like, should I be looking at things like Patreon or channel memberships or whatever? Because like, I don't know. Every time I think about that stuff, it's like, here's what I would like to do, but I'm like, would people care? Would people like that? Because I'd like to do like either more streams like this, like monthly for like channel members. That'd be kind of fun. Or like a podcast where people can bring up talking points or questions or topics or whatever. That'd be kind of fun. Um, I don't know, because I already give so as much as I can already, and so I keep trying to think of like extra stuff and everything. Um, because then I start getting in my head of like, am I worthy of your $3 a month? um, that's again a me thing. Um, but no, don't don't ever second guess the impact. You know, every dollar, every view, every click, it's all magic. And you know, keeps the train going. I want to keep the train going as long as I can. Um, so I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun, like doing like a thank you in the videos and a like a podcast or something, and like people can submit topics and stuff, and I think that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. Like I said, I get in my head about that stuff a lot, but I need I need to think of some ideas. But but no, don't. I'm guilty of it too, like I said, but don't don't second guess yourself. It's super kind, and I don't know. It still blows my mind that people click on stuff, or that I'm even in a position where I'm like, ugh, only 30,000 views. This video flopped, and it's like, Bill, you would have pissed out of your ass for 30,000 views a couple years ago, and now you're like, this isn't good enough.
It's true.
Yeah, but I also don't have a day job to finance my food and bills, so the feeling kind of shifts.
It's true.
I don't know. Oh man, because it's been so weird. And that's something else I kind of talked about in some of my recent videos too, and it's hard to keep track of like when something was conceived, and then also the timeline of recent events and stuff. It's been not fun, and I guess I have to choose to call it interesting or intriguing for just like my own sake. I have to think of it as intriguing, but seeing how our art and our stories have adapted, move away from, or include a lot of the things that have been happening recently. It's interesting because it was weird. I think it was Sandman, where it's like, haha, it's 2021. And I'm like, that's interesting. Doesn't look like 2021. I want this 2021. I already can't sleep. I guess I did have really bad insomnia in 2021, so I feel you. So I don't know. It's interesting. Oh man. Um
We got another California dollar donation from
hey,
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Oh, it's a little sticker. Look at him. Hi. Thank you for the 10 and that adorable sticker. Look at the boy. Um there's no message.
They followed up in chat.
Oh, they followed up.
Yeah. The struggle to find and do what you like and make a living off of it is real. I don't love my job, but it got me a condo when you can remember to be kind to yourself.
That's so true. And I mean, that's the other thing too, is it's like, what is your goal? You know? And because that's something I kind of learned, especially from my grandpa. Um, he's like, find the thing that makes you happy. And for him, that was providing and, hosting family dinners and stuff like that. Like, family made him happy, even though his job was pretty cool. I think anyway. But I feel that though. Like, there's also something to be said about, you know, it, like the closest thing in my mind, jealous of the condo. Um, I still don't think I can legally say the family chain themed restaurant I worked at for several years, and I hated every minute of it. It was embarrassing. It was like 20-hour days more often than not. It was miserable. Like, it's in the city, it's touristy. There was like a uniform that was more like a costume. It was bad, but I never was late on my rent or my bills. As miserable as that job was, I had somewhere to stay, I had heat and electricity, something to eat. Never once was late. As much as that place sucked a lot. Like, sweep the shag carpet before you leave. Like, tedious, dumb corporate restaurant work. Never missed rent. So I feel that. Um, because I I hope life improves in how we as humans structure and alter life. But you know, I guess good for I would say good for you for finding that silver lining. You know, that place sucked. I still don't think I could talk about it, and I could have too. I could have made a whole YouTube video, but I remember I
Um,
remember the manager who hired me, who then was fired and replaced several times over. He heard that I was writing with friends, doing like stand up and stuff like that. Because I was taking classes and stuff. And he was like, just for the record, you probably shouldn't mention where you work. And I'm like, I haven't. Why? And he's like, because you signed a thing and you can get in a lot of trouble. And I'm like, okay. Um, so I kind of just really took that to heart. Um, it was a topic at one point in time. That restaurant, that chain. Um, but it sucked. But like I said, kept me housed, kept me fed, kept me dry. Well, actually, that's not true. And been called in during snowstorms because they just needed someone to be in the restaurant during like the polar vortex, just in case someone happened to pop in. And I'm like, this is awful. And it's like $5 an hour before taxes because it's tip out wage. Tip your servers. Donate to your streamers. Um, but yeah, I feel that silver lining feeling. It doesn't make the negatives more positive to find the silver lining, you know, but it also doesn't make the positives more negative. I feel that. And thank you again for the donation. Cause I don't know, I I there's a lot of safety and structure in having like a day job to focus on, but I like working for myself. I When I left restaurants to do something in an office setting, which I won't say the name of the company because y'all got to pay me to talk about a company. Pay me. Um, but um, I I navigated that lifestyle fine for a while, but it like drove me off the wall. Oh, we got to have a meeting about how many meetings we're having before this next meeting, and I'm like, help, leave me be. I'll just I'll just answer emails and phones until I die. Um, like I don't know. As hard as it is being the sole person responsible for everything, minus algorithms and encouraging people to click on things and hit like and stuff. I don't miss it, but also, I would have hung in a little longer to save some money and all that stuff instead of getting laid off. Um, but it is what it is. It's just, it's scary sometimes, and I think I would have handled it a lot worse if I didn't have this outlet and this, I almost said support network, the supportive community. Um, and I'll always appreciate that because everybody was there for me when my grandpa passed at the end of 2019. And then right as we're like, yo, what's going on? Why can't we go outside? And then getting laid off. Um, I really appreciate that. And it's my goal to keep sending that love back out, entertaining, turn a bunch of lemons into some lemonade. Um, I don't know. I'll always be appreciative of that. Holy crap. I I don't think I could go back to restaurants. Like things would have to get really bad. I don't I even in the before times, even in like 2014, 2013, I'm like, "Oh, you don't have enough ranch in like your cup that's like this big. The straws don't bend. There's no clean drinking water in Detroit. Shut up." Like I couldn't be bothered with like people's little things that they would like yell about or want to see a manager about and stuff. So I don't think I could handle it now. I'd be like, oh yeah,
to say, at least in my chain restaurant experience, I got to throw it right back at
I guess.
That was awesome.
Only 7 cheese sticks? Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat another
There
one.
was God, there was somebody like who tried getting into it with me, and they were like, you price your food too expensive, and I'm like, you think I fucking own this place? Rule number 1 would be no stupid shirts. Only these shirts at thethirdbill.com. I feel like no stupid shirts. Like, you kidding me? I didn't choose to dress like this. It's so, it blows my mind how much. I'm sure that person was also having a shitty day. Whatever. It blows my mind how much people don't think or be considerate of things. It's nuts. Nah, not even too many Karens. It was just titled fellow Caucasian gentlemen like myself. White dudes on business lunches are a lot.
Oh, the regulars. They
Yeah,
know me.
you should know my order. I've been here before. I literally have never seen you a day in my life. The regulars. So you leave $20 on the table and go to McDonald's? Like, leave me be.
They always pay in cash. Always.
I don't know. It was also customers are one thing. It's also I very rarely was I ever around happy people working in restaurants and stuff. Because like my biggest pet peeve is like don't ask a question if you don't want an answer. Because I had a manager who, would like ask genuinely like asked me how my day was, and I'm like, good. I'm nervous, waiting to hear back from an audition, but pretty good. And she stops me and goes, just say fine next time. And I just went, don't ask me then. It was a 10-second response. Wasn't overstaying my welcome. It's about to pretend to care about you right back and ask how your day was. Like, I hated that. I'll never forget this lady just, like, who I just started working there too. And she was like, just say fine. And I'm like, don't ask. I'm not offended if you don't ask me how my day's going, but there's no one in your restaurant right now. Spoilers. If you're going to ask me how my day is, I'll fill the time. I don't know. It's just I think I can be very like reflective of my environment. So when that's negative or angry, I can get really negative or angry. And there was something about just like we're going to make the best out of this empty restaurant that I'm stuck in for 9 hours. Just say fine. All right. You, dude. Come on. But that was such a weird situation because there was a couple places I had worked at where it's like, hey man, if it's slow and there's nothing to clean, you can read a book if you want. Cool. And then other places it's like, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. And I'm like, I haven't gotten a table yet, so you haven't paid me today. So no. There's no dirt to clean up because no one has come in here. That's why I really hope that the internet stuff works out, because I'd much rather do this. And this comes with its own stressors and negativity as well as positivity. But good God, at least I could be left alone. If I'm having a bad day and I'm just editing, fine. I can be even more productive on a bad day because I'm not like, haha, what's going on Twitter? I'm like, man, I don't want to look at my phone. I'm just going to edit me talking way too long. 2 hours of me yammering? Let's go.
Oh, hang on. I have a question for you, and I don't. When you worked at restaurants in the proper city limits, did you get people that were like, "Oh, rats in the kitchen"? And I'm like, "Oh, they hide. Like, your issues are like with the people."
Oh, rats in the kitchen?
Yeah. Because like,
did people see rats in your kitchen and say something?
Not see them, but Chicago, like people.
Oh, like are there rats here?
Yeah,
because it's like, no, I did have somebody who was fired for being drunk at work, and his response to that was to go out onto the dining floor and scream that there's rats and roaches in the building and this place is disgusting and everyone needs to leave. And I was laughing so hard, like I thought I was gonna pee. That's one way to do it. But no, I guess sometimes we'd get like weird insinuations, like, like the water stain debate on silverware or water spots, I think is what they're called. Sometimes you get that debacle where it's like, this is dirty. And I'm like, I won't disagree to your face because I need a tip. Um, it's just water, but
That water stain is
take it in the
indicative
back.
of the hottest, most sterile clean you can get in the
I
restaurant.
know. I'm
Just
like,
saying.
unless you're seeing food stuck to it, we're legally not around, not allowed to fuck around and find out with cleanliness.
Yeah, it's the one
Um,
thing you're certified
that
to
was
do.
another dumb one. Speaking of weird things, I remember being told by my manager that we're having a fire drill. So I went outside, and then my manager screamed for me to get back in, and I'm like, "You said fire drills," so I grabbed my stuff and went outside. And they're like, "No, a health inspector's here," and I'm like, "Why are we talking in code?" Also, okay, I did everything you normally tell me to do, so we should be fine, right? Nope. Time to super clean and super pick up.
People always got
Maybe
mad
this
when
is
they
why I'm not
got
allowed to say the name, just in case.
people always got mad when I got or like when secret shoppers would come in at restaurants, but I'm like, I'm doing the same job no matter what. So
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about that.
Secret Shoppers is always a stressful one for me. One time I did get a Secret Shop report because like sometimes people would ask me weird questions like, you know, do you have these kind of breads? What's in your soup? Like really specific questions, and I'd kind of joke like, "What are you, a secret shopper?" Like, haha, and then I'd answer the question. And I got a Secret Shopper report that was still 100% because I have personality. But it also said in the notes, literally asked me if I was a secret shopper, and I'm like, that sounds about right. That sounds like me.
Yep. But luckily, also where I worked, it was encouraged to play along with that. So if I caught wind of that, I would be like, "You want a gold star?" Like it was,
Yeah.
Ah,
But yeah, is what it is. But I don't. God, I don't miss that. It's just, it's just one of those joy suckers, you know. At least in an office job, if I'm not feeling good, I can stretch my legs, have to go potty, something. Because when I switched to my office job, the one I got laid off from at the beginning of everything, early 2020, I remember my manager had to pull me aside and go, "Bill, you don't have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. You are a grown man." And I literally sat there, turned to my manager, and went, "This is the first time I've ever had a job where I didn't have to ask to go to the bathroom. You're right. I am a grown up. I'm so sorry that every other place I've worked at demanded to know my whereabouts at all times." And that was my thing to work on. My first 3 months there was was not asking to go to the bathroom and just go to the bathroom. And it was like one of those like, oh God, like you're telling me there's a wizard who can solve all my problems. Like, I felt like such an idiot.
make an announcement to my tables so nobody was like, "Where'd she go? I've been looking everywhere for half
Oh, we
an
weren't
hour."
allowed to take breaks.
Yeah, neither were we, but you gotta go, you gotta go.
Being an adult's fun. Cause yeah, I think yeah, cause I had started doing restaurants shortly after finishing college. So yeah, I was almost always in an environment where I had to tell somebody I that I wanted to go to the bathroom. I had to ask to go to the bathroom from 5 to 27. 26? 26. 21 years. Wow. So smash that like button. Subscribe. Everyone remember to ring the bell, check the settings, make sure it's set to all so YouTube doesn't make assumptions over what you want to see for my channel. It's not, we're not getting married. We're not, we're not signing a contract or a lease together or a mortgage. It's just so you can see when I upload because that's how subscribing works now. Super annoying that it works this way. We love YouTube. Praise be to its algorithms. Consider donating or leaving a super thanks. Or you could buy a shirt like this one at thethirdbill.com. Does anyone ask a question that's fun instead of about however we got onto restaurants and day jobs?
Not a reset.
Sometimes I miss the stability. Don't get me wrong. There was something very comforting about knowing where I'm going tomorrow, how long I'll be there, and I will take the misery train back home at like 9:30 at night. Um,
I miss the social aspect.
yeah,
That's in general.
I do too when things are going well.
Yeah.
Um, does anyone know how to play Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on a PlayStation?
Unrelated.
Well, I guess the new game got a trailer. I don't guess. That happened. And I retweeted it with that, and everyone was like, haha. And I'm like, cool. This wasn't a bit. Does anyone know I can play this? I've only played like the first half of Sonic Adventure 2. I never played Sonic Adventure 1. I want to play 3D Sonic on the gaming channel, which everyone should subscribe to. Um,
Book recommendations. Do you have them?
book recommendations?
Mm-hmm.
Eh, not anymore. I I read The Stand. I would recommend that book now. A little stressful. Um, I don't know. I've been in search of some books. I know my stepmom recommended a couple to me that were more on like the horror thriller side of things. I like spooky stuff. Uh, books. The pictures don't move in books. How can you read the spell? There aren't any pictures in it. I lost oxygen as I was doing that. How can you read the spell? There aren't any pictures in it. Nailed it. Hire me. So I can, say that the industry is fine so I don't lose my job. I don't know. I've wanted to, like, I've been reading like random stuff. Um, I almost finished this collection of poetry someone gave me in college.
You essentially got half of the Alana audiobook of Bob Odenkirk's book when I read it.
Yeah. You read most of Bob Odenkirk's book to me.
I did.
It's nice to know that if I were to, we were asked in art school what we think our like pitch is or our type, and I said I look like David Cross, but I act like Bob Odenkirk, and no one knew who I was talking about. Who's laughing now, bitches? That kid was just ahead of his time. Everything I loved that wasn't cool is now so overplayed. It's great. Who's your favorite comic hero? Is it Spider-Man? No, I kind of like Iron Man and Ghost Rider and Daredevil. Who are those, you stupid nerd? Now Daredevil has a piss suit. He's got 2 suits, 3 technically, because of the other one. Y'all don't even know who Daredevil is. Stupid children in the mid to late 90s. Who's laughing now? I'm wearing a shirt with my face on it. Oh, there was a what was the other thing that I was like bitching about where I'm like, everyone bullied me for liking this and now it's like the cool, oh, everything about Eddie Munson. I'm glad. Minus how, watch that video, please. That deserves at least a couple thousand more views.
6 million views.
6 million views. It should have been on trending. Well, the Hootie Hole theory should go on trending.
Of course.
Because they're too scared. Disney stops that video from trending because I literally predicted the ending of the show.
Magnum holus.
What?
It's your magnum.
It's my
holus.
magnum holus. Get out.
Hello, I did not intend to hear piss suit once I joined. Sorry.
Daredevil's getting his yellow suit. He looks like Pete. Was it Stephen King? It might have been It when the It remake was coming out. But yeah, Eddie Munson is one where it's like, it's that weird conflicting feeling where I'm like, good, I'm glad more people are getting into the things that I've liked growing up, mixed with I was bullied so much and now everyone's like, huh, I love Metallica, and when I wanted to play it on Rock Band, everyone said I'm a loser. It's a mix between those two sensations at once. Uh, that video did also get me back into some of my favorite music growing up. I was given a lot of the Devil's music because it was really getting to me the amount of times throughout my childhood and adolescence, and even now, that people like to tell me I'm going to hell. So I was given the Devil's music, and it's like, oh, this is all bullshit. The song bangs.
The Devil's music slaps.
Yeah, you know things have finally taken a turn when the Devil's music is calling the music of this generation the Devil's music. I know I talked about this on the gaming channel stream, but when it was like Gene Simmons was like, K-pop and BTS, and I'm like, shut up, Night in Satan's service. Like, my grandma still clutches her pearls at the sight of you. Like, and now here you are dealing satanic panic over K-pop. Shut up.
Now you're catering to the crowd you once defied against.
You are the ones who. I am the one who protests your shows, or cruise ship.
Favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie. God damn. I it traumatized me. I really like The Exorcist. It's like one of the only stories where it doesn't have a solid enough ending to where I'm still like, yo, it leaves me to find the ending, and I like that because most of the time I hate it. I paid full money for this. Christopher Nolan. Was Leonardo DiCaprio dreaming or not? Full story, please, or I would like $2. Christopher Nolan owes me $2. And Chance the Rapper owes me 10. Favorites. I'm not the biggest fan, especially of the Western remakes. I'm not the biggest fan of the Grudge or the Ring franchises, or forgive me, Sadako or Kayoko, but I love the movie where they fight. Sadako versus Kayoko is one of my favorite. I hope I'm saying that right.
Pepsi or Coke?
RC.
Get out.
Mountain Piss. I like The Thing. That shit's fun. The real one with Kurt Russell. I don't know. I like Halloween.
The Last Exorcism, starring my BFF.
Oh, Patrick Fabian's The Last Exorcism.
Yeah.
I like that one enough. I like Paranormal Activity because I feel like that's also my Exorcist story of like, oh, like people were so freaked out they were passing out in their seats and pissing in each other's hands. It was so scary, and like I got to see Paranormal Activity when it was still in the like demanded in your city, that kind of phase of it all. And yeah, I had come to terms with the fact that I was probably gonna shit myself in a movie theater at like 18, 19, I think, or 17, because it was the fall. I was 17 with some of my friends, fully prepared to shit myself in a movie theater. I like the It first remake movie. I like Tim Curry's performance in the TV movie more. I don't know. I don't know why I just did that to myself. I like the story of It, minus the stuff in the book that didn't need to be there. The graphic things. But I like the concept of your childhood traumas. You know, when you're a child in drama, childhood traumas manifesting in those ways, how it can scar you both as a child, the ways it impacts you as an adult, having to come to terms with that as an adult. I like the story, and it's like bare bones here. All these kids have the shared trauma of the monster, but it takes different forms. And it's like their experiences were all different, and sometimes their experiences were together. I like those elements and concepts. We don't need the graphic part, though. If you don't know, don't look it up. And if you do know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No one's. You mean the scene where they're eating celery? You know what I'm talking about. We didn't need that. I don't know. That's so hard because it's like a taste thing.
Bad Ben, of course, scariest game there is.
Bad Ben. Stop it.
Did I say game?
You said game. It's a movie. Bad Ben is great. Is that still on Amazon? How many beanies do I have? I should just be looking at the donation page, but I was taking a peek at chat. How many beanies do I own? You would actually know that if you paid attention in one of my recent videos. I was kind of surprised nobody noticed. You could see a pile of my beanies because I had just done laundry. You could see it because over my shoulder is this desk where you are now, where the computer is. And you could see just a pile of beanies on the little desk that I use for filming right over my shoulder. Like six or seven. I've got old ones, I've got new ones. I've got one for fancy occasions. It's black. And then it does what's that? The fade ombre? It ombres into gray. Surprised I didn't get any comments about that in that video. Instead it was people getting mad that I didn't notice every little detail or being wrong. And I was right. Lindsay, thank you. Holy crap. Thank you, Lindsay, for the 50 California dollars. And a heart. No message, Lindsay? Thank you, though. That's very generous. Thank you.
It's probably banned from leaving messages.
Probably. That happened. A couple of people left like a $5 super thanks or something, and it was held for like likely spam. And I'm like, yo, YouTube, you take 30% of this shit. And there's nothing mean here. And it was held for like likely spam. And I'm like, this person gave it was like $5. And you held it as spam. Thank you, Lindsay, for the donation. I really appreciate that. Heart back to you. Hearts for Lindsay. That sounds like you're dying. Kindness and appreciation for Lindsay.
Here's a question from Morgan. Do you have any tattoos? If so, what tattoos do you have?
I have 2 tattoos. And they're private. No, I do have 2 tattoos. I don't like showing them off because they're on parts of my body that have grown hair since getting them. One's a tattoo I have matching with my sister, and another one is a tattoo that it's not matching with my mom because my mom freaked out and cried when I started getting tattoos with my sister. And then a couple years later, my mom got my tattoo without saying anything, and I'm like, that's sweet, Mom, and also kind of weird. So I don't match a tattoo with my mom. But my mom got my second tattoo. She stole it. She copied my homework. So those are the 2 tattoos that I have. And again, I don't want to show them off because they're not in places of my body I like showing off anymore. They're all hairy and old and gross. Yeah, Lana is fine. Yeah, none of them are visible. I kept them all under the t-shirt line. That's why should I ever hit 200K, the tattoo I want to get, it's like right dead ass on the forearm down to like my wrist. But yeah, my sister and I got matching tattoos from the Dark Tower. And they're dope. I like simple ones anyway. But it's a bit of a spoiler, so I won't go into intense detail for you. But it's a reference to the end of the Dark Tower. And it's one of my favorite things.
Anea says, Bill, I've been watching your videos since you first reacted to Steven Universe, and watching your reactions alongside me watching my favorite shows has really kept me company during tough times.
That's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad to keep you company. I That's another example. I was talking earlier about stuff where I'm like, I really should have filmed this. If I had known people would have liked my Steven Universe content more, I would have, and same with Adventure Time, I would have filmed me watching those. Adventure Time, I lost a lot of that footage. But Steven Universe, I'm like, this is great. I hope people like this video. Anyway, I'm gonna watch the whole series in like 2 weeks. And then the video took off, and I'm like, well, I'm almost done. I guess I can make a video about the end. That'd be kind of cool to do. A Patreon idea, but I guess it would exclude people who don't care about Steven Universe content, but like doing a breakdown like season by season, or I could just make videos if I really wanted to. That'd be kind of fun. That's kind of, if I were to do like a Patreon podcast, that'd be a fun one. Like, oh, like we'll do this one will be about Steven Universe season 1, because then also give me an excuse to rewatch stuff, because I've been wanting to rewatch Adventure Time and Steven Universe, and I'm like, I don't have the time or emotional commitment for this, and that's not how I'm gonna spend my time off, is screaming. Um, but maybe a revisit would be kind of cool, because that was something like I was gonna do that after Steven Universe Future ended, but then, you know, I didn't have a job. Nobody knew what was gonna happen to the world. Panic and freak out, panic and freak out, and I kind of feel bad because this also happened with like Alec Benjamin in 5 Seconds of Summer, a couple of other things I was doing at the time, but like I kind of compartmentalized a lot of the stuff I was doing spring of 2020 off in that cabinet. Um, that would be fun to do a rewatch though. I just don't know how interesting it would be. I guess I wouldn't document it frame by frame, you know. Maybe doing like a little video or something. But yeah, that was a plan. And boy howdy. Um Steven Universe noped right out of there. Um but yeah, I lost track of a lot of things I wanted to do around that time. Um and then yeah, Adventure Time I just lost a bunch of footage because I wanted to do the mini series as each videos, and then for some reason all I had on my old MacBook, uh, the double hand me down one. Um, the only one that what the only footage that wasn't corrupted was the finale and like one random episode, and I'm like, guess we're just doing the finale then. Could have milked it for all it's worth. That's okay. I guess I'd rather kind of feel like that than feel like I overstayed my welcome on one subject. But like, holy crap. Because I remember I had like just finished like the second season, I think, and then suddenly it's like, wow, like people are liking this video. And then we went to Wizard World, Chicago,
Oh yeah.
which I think is now RevCon or it some I don't know. But literally went into a building to look at like a small Comic-Con thing. Didn't have any service on my phone. Stepped out at the end of the day, and I'm like, wow, I got 10,000 subscribers while in this building. Also, these really cool prints in a T-shirt. My Steven Universe T-shirt, the red one, I picked that up there.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yep. I miss having money to support the things I like. Now I ask people to support me if I'm a thing you like. How the turntables. Smash that like button, gamers. We're 8 away from 100. We are 8 away from 100 though. That is how math works. Um, I don't know. Because it's also hard too, because I don't want to be a Steven Universe channel or just be known as like the Steven Universe sad guy, you know? Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Whoa, that was deep.
Thank you. I wrote that. Told it some jackass at a Tony Roma's, and He just left.
Oh, wow.
Was that too loud?
That was poignant.
I'm sorry. Was that too loud on the mic?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I just wasn't expecting it.
That's right. I need carbonation on standby for my sensitive tummy. But yeah, I feel like there's like something really big dropping at the end of the year, but now I couldn't tell you.
Fold him, I hardly know him. Nice. Nice.
Hardly know him. I hardly know him. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know why I just said that like as if it's over.
Isn't it?
Hush you. We have a rule not to make obscure Steven Universe references at random times because I don't know how I'm gonna respond. I feel like everything I know right now is like video game stuff. Cause the Sonic trailer had the release date there, and it's like right next to God of War Ragnarok and Pokemon Scarlet Violet. And I'm like, I want to play all those games on my channel. What's gonna be the priority? I guess we'll just let the community decide. If we get to 5,000 subscribers on my gaming channel, I'm gonna play the evil route of Undertale. So, click shit, please. Felt like this HBO Discovery lean this way, scripts are for boys bullshit. It really threw me off my rhythm. Cause like I didn't even know that like, well, first off, I forgot that The Last of Us series was HBO. So when I saw that trailer and that purple showed up, it was heartbreaking. You might as well just spat in my face. And then I didn't know, I forgot that Driftwood was HBO.
When you said scripts, I'm like, that's not even fair because I can't even read scripts yet until I'm 30.
Sorry, ladies. Scripts are for gamers only. Like, that's all I can hear when I think of that stupid. Fellas, do you like to lean in and watch scripted content? Ladies, do you like unscripted content and to lean back?
I'm already into Who's Line.
What are the how? I know I made this joke on Twitter, but I just every time it shows up my camera roll, I think, what do the enemies do? How do they lean? Are they okay? I just maybe my humor doesn't translate well on Instagram. Maybe I'm just not on it enough, so people were just like, "Oh, you're still here," and unfollowed me. I lost like 10 followers on Instagram for being like, "How am I supposed to lean?" Like, I don't know how else to process that shit.
Where have we landed on what version of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet we're playing?
Oh.
Because we wouldn't buy the same versions.
Well, both the Pokemon professors are hot.
That's where I'm panicking.
Both the legendaries are dumb.
Both the legendaries are also hot, so.
I don't know. Maybe should I leave that much up to my community? I'm getting a freaking spam call right now. I don't know. Are people just over me on Instagram? I feel like people are over me in general. There it goes. Oh, Lindsay liked my tweet and retweeted my tweet. Everyone should be doing that all the time. I don't know, man. Like it's really thrown me off that rhythm. Cause like the Michael Keaton like whole reveal for the Batgirl movie. That was that Batgirl movie, right?
Yeah.
What a waste of everything. I'm sure whoever's playing Batgirl did a good job too.
Oh yeah.
But like Michael Keaton Batman. You had to punch everybody. What?
Morgan said, personally, I love you on Instagram.
Morgan.
No hetero.
Ah. Sorry, I tried to like bend away from the mic because I could just see the red just spike up, and I tried to lean away, and then that made me cough.
Maybe if you posted more thirst traps, your Insta would be popping off.
Is that because I don't take? What am I doing where I need to take pictures right now? Hey guys, here's the wall I stared at for 3 hours. Hey guys, making bagel bites again. This is probably going to affect me in the long run. Oh, I finally hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. Oh, God. That was good. Thank you, Morgan, for that. I love you on Instagram, too, No Hetero Morgan. No Hetero Morgan sounds like a play.
But only on Instagram. If we see you on Twitter, it's fisticuffs time.
It's fisticuffs time everywhere. Hey guys, I made a video. Hey guys, I'm doing a stream. Lose 2 followers. Well, fuck me. Why are you following me then? Don't get my hopes up. You weren't a real follower. You don't have to even... I prefer it if you watch the video. You don't even have to watch the video. Or if you do, you don't have to like it. I prefer it if you like it. I don't understand the internet anymore. This is something my little sister has tried to describe to me a lot. I'm like, I don't really unsubscribe from things. I just watch a video and hit the like button to be polite. Lets you know I'm here. And my sister's like, you're just kind of an ideal YouTube watcher then. I'm like, fuck me, I guess I am. Back in my day, we didn't get to skip the commercials. But it's so true. Like, I take it so personally because, like, I think the only time that I've unsubscribed from YouTube channels is when something bad happened. If you know, you know. Whoa.
Blaze!
Blaze Banana Nana. Excuse you. Oh my goodness. Curaden's design is clearly based off of Native American traditional dancers. He's got the horse head and everything, so by definition... Did you mean to send me this? What are we talking about? Did I bring up Indigenous dance? What? $50 to confuse me is $50 well spent. Thank you for the donation.
Oh, Pokemon Legendary.
Pokemon Legendaries.
Got it.
Thank you. I was like, what are we talking... Guys, I haven't caught up on anime. I barely watched Food Wars. Food Wars was funny. Alana does not like Food Wars. Alana doesn't like anime. It's frustrating.
Pokemon Scarlet. Ow.
The legendaries don't suck. I just don't have a preference. It's no Lugia and Ho-Oh. Team Lugia. And it's no dog with sword or dog with beard. I'm dog with sword. I couldn't even... excuse me. And both the professors are hot, so I don't know how to pick. Which one are you promoting? Banana Nana?
Scarlet, I think. Yeah, Scarlet.
Scarlet?
Yeah, because Blaze also said only the violet one is stupid looking.
I'll look at them again. I don't know. I don't want to keep thirsting over the professors and like nail all those jokes into the ground. Just like grind those jokes into the ground and sometimes have the jokes step on me. But like, that's all I care about. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. News. Images. I kind of like that the violet one has like lightning hair. I like that the scarlet one has like a tire for tits. Yeah, I like them just fine. But none of them are calling to me. And both of the professors are hot. So I don't know what to do.
Which one has Melanie? That's going to be my deciding factor.
Right? Do they also have different gym leaders? Because that revelation when we compared our Sword and Shield experiences, and I'm like, wait a minute.
It was when I was playing Shield, and I went, hello, and you went, what gym leader are you? Oh! I didn't have Melanie in Sword.
Melanie's the Lady Dimitrescu of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I like them. I just, because aren't they also like your bikes or something in the trailer? You can tell that they're supposed to be bikes.
Yeah, they're the Born
I
This
want
Way
them to be
legendaries.
cute anime animals. I don't want them to be
It's giving Gaga
machines. It's born this way.
Yeah.
Pokemon Scarlet Violet, you were born that way. I don't know. I think I like Violet just a little more because the lightning hair. That's subject to change. I'm sure they're based off of cool things like Nana Nana said. Anna Banana, was that Blaze?
Bean.
Um
They climb, fly, swim, and become motorcycles.
oh my god, they pulled a Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Incorporated motorcycles at one point.
And a dice throwing game.
That was in the main canon. That was season 1. You will show respect.
And I end my turn.
Correct. Sometimes to help me sleep at night, I watch old Yu-Gi-Oh! Episodes because it reminds me of a simpler time.
Sometimes
I won't get into what was going on. It's very personal. I was going through a very hard time in my life, and my dad was like, I was about to like donate or throw out my old iPad. Do you want it? And at the time, I was living in a postage stamp apartment. I had barely any money. I had just moved to Chicago and didn't know anybody. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. It's free. And he gave me his Hulu password. And every single episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was on there. And I, Polar Vortex, can't go anywhere. I'm applying for jobs online. And I just sat there one day and went, I don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh! Ends. And I just watched the whole series. It kept me warm. It kept me focused. It kept me sane. And as soon as I was done rewatching the whole series, I got a call from that horrible restaurant and worked there for 2 years. 2.5. So it holds a special place in here. I don't know. I don't know. I also don't remember which version gives you which professor. Do I have to make a choice? Can we just have both the professors?
Well, technically, I guess we will.
Will they both come when they hear that I beat the Elite Four?
Like, arrive?
That's like that. I think that was one of my first memes someone ever showed me was I came when I heard you beat the Elite Four, Professor Oak. He came. I had it saved on my flash drive when I would do like reports and stuff in high school. Oh, I also that's a video I wish I had done more anime leading up to watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Epilogue movie. I haven't finished it yet, but Seto Kaiba is like canonically gay for the Pharaoh, right? Like vibes? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? The movie that takes place after the show, and he's like determined to duel with his like ghost boyfriend one more time. It's like the Lake House, but with card games and two anime men.
Oh my gosh. M Hags just asked, did you watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series?
I'm gonna date myself a little bit here. I watched it as a video podcast on my iPod Nano. I did. God damn it. How did we get on this? Oh, I know all the games that are coming out, but I don't know what shows and stuff are coming out at the end of the year. Who's going to be the next Encanto? And will I do a video about it? And will it happen fast enough to catch the stream of the algorithm. Ride the wind. Like, I haven't finished it, the prologue movie, but right, like, he like dreams about dueling him. He'll bend time and space to talk to his ghost. He'll dramatically throw soda cans on the ground. Anyway, um, sorry, really thrown off because somebody referenced something I haven't watched in a very fucking long time. It's only, oh, it's a poster. Stupid internet. I'm like, wait a minute. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is only $35. This poster is. I just wanted to look at the picture and it showed me the dumb thing. Right? Like it's a love story, right? Between Seto Kaiba and the Pharaoh.
If you say so, I would not know. I'm the queen of anime to a certain extent.
No, you're actually the demon of anime. You're the only person I know who will like finally agree to sit down and watch Full Metal Alchemist with me, and then cheer when spoilers when Nina dies,
Hell yeah!
and then make fun of the talking dog.
I want that to be my Halloween costume so bad.
I don't. I don't know. I want to get into more anime, but I want to find something either A that would make a well-received video and people would enjoy it, or something that I'll really enjoy. It's hard to find me an anime that I'll like. Because also, I think a lot of the ones people suggest have already been suggested to me, and I've already seen it. Because a lot of people are like, "You'd like One Punch Man," and I'm like, "Oh, I do." When the third one drops, it's over for you.
If you had to be a Yu-Gi-Oh character, who would you be?
If I had to be a Yu-Gi-Oh character, I always want to lean towards the chosen one shit, but I'd like to be a rich asshole. But you do have to lose your soul for a hot minute. Ah, I get. I, I guess I'd have to pick Kaiba. Be the Jeff Bezos of trading cards, but you also have a soul and a heart. Build a theme park. So I don't know. Because I also like, I don't know. I feel like while I feel like I got a majority of like a positive response to my Studio Ghibli movie ranking video I did a while back, the people who were mad at me for not loving their favorites as much as they do really hated me. I don't have love for Ponyo. I love that it exists because it makes other people happy. I'm not one of those people. I can respect you for liking Ponyo. Can you respect me for not liking Ponyo?
You do not want to watch Ponyo around me.
No, you are the worst. You just don't like anime children.
I do not. When they have...
And I get too nervous for them. Because, like, when they go off on their own and, like, we're gonna go on an adventure, ham! Like, I'm like, can someone watch these children, please? What if they, like, drown in the now flooded area? And then everyone's like, this is pretty typical in Japanese culture. And I'm like, okay, cool. Still a little nervous. It flooded. There was a natural disaster.
I love Ponyo. Her dude's hot.
the Tim Burton anime character, the pinstripe suit, who has to like breathe water hookah to survive.
Oh my god. Have you considered Beastars?
Yes, we have watched the Beastars. Why did we? We just looked at it and went, this, it was like the trailer. We just looked at it and went, this looks like it goes too hard, and I'm kind of here for it. I loved it when it was like a murder mystery. I want that. I love Case Closed. That was my one true anime as a kid. And they stopped dubbing it. And it's like one of the most heralded stories in fucking Japan. It's got its own theme park, and the series is still going. I would have gone broke keeping up with that. I remember I had 10 issues of the manga and looked at it one day and did the math. I have 10 issues. They were $10 each. I just spent $100 on these books, and it's nowhere near being done. I have to stop. It's called self-control. It's fine. I like mysteries. But I can respect the visuals upon you. Oh, there was a freaking, not to circle back to something sad. Somebody did a fan art when Infinity Train Book 2 happened, where it's Jesse and, for spoiler-free purposes, in case Morgan's still here, MT are in like the final Ponyo Sasuke pose, and I fucking cried. And again, I don't like Ponyo. There was something about that where I'm like, MT's story makes people that level of comfort happy. It needs to exist. Again, we're staying spoiler free, so I can't even explain why it's important for me to emphasize that I'm staying spoiler free. If everybody in the world just watched Infinity Train, and then everybody in the world watched my videos about Infinity Train, we could talk about it freely. Yeah, Morgan is still here. Haha, I got you, Morgan. See, guys, that's what a $5 donation gets you. I won't spoil shit for you. Like and subscribe. Donate. Really glad I held my tongue, because book 2 needs to be taught. I mean, the whole show needs to be taught in school, but like book 2 should be taught in every school. And I can't even explain why. And I'm starting to get wet eyes black dragon just thinking about it. Or I guess I'm wet eyes white dragon. Blue eyes wet dragon? That doesn't sound right.
I'm sure it's something somewhere.
That was so fun though, to sit down and like rank all the Studio Ghibli movies and stuff. You won't even rewatch them with me. Like I can't watch them alone, and I have no one to watch them with.
That is not true. I just won't watch From Up on Poppy Hill. I won't watch.
I only asked you to watch it once because you hadn't seen it. Most of these I watched alone, but if I want to rewatch them, I don't want to be alone.
Totoro is a hard one for me to get through. Spirited Away is a hard one for me to get through.
If someone, kind of like with my weird relationship with Coraline, if someone tells me I should read the book to understand and like it better, Coraline and Howl's Moving Castle are books that are kind of on my radar, purely because people have told me the books are so much better, you should read those first. Because I've tried so many times.
I think Howl's Moving Castle.
Morgan, thanks for the other 5. Thanks for the no spoilers. No worries, Morgan. That's very kind of you to donate again. Thank you. That was also a selfish choice because I've F in the chat. Because the show is done and I've done videos on this show now, I can finally watch somebody else's like videos about it, because it's not like the Owl House where it's like I don't want to like copy your theories or, you know, take something from yours consciously or subconsciously. So it's always hard to like find other YouTubers like videos to ingest, because I don't want, you know, I don't like cross-contamination, to use restaurant terms. But I can watch yours on Infinity Train, and I need more of those. I need you to know what happens. I need you to know what happens at the moment. Again, it blows my mind how many people will like leave comments trying to like spoil things in shows and stuff for me, and it's like, even the well-meaning ones that are like, you just spoiled everything by listening to the music. It's like, shush, I don't know that yet. But um I'm very much looking forward to seeing your videos about Infinity Train. And I hope you stay as pure as possible because I don't want you to know. You can't know because it'll spoil things for you, but from what I've gathered, the pitch for the book 5 that'll never be, when you know what that's going to be, it's going to make you so unhappy that it's not existing. Um, sorry. 1 second. Just making sure my grandma's okay. My grandma. Okay. Sorry. Phone's gone off a couple of times and I'm like, we're good, right? So my family likes to use like group texts sometimes and they don't always work for me, so I'll just get like 10 texts that don't make sense out of nowhere from just 2 of the 6 people and I'm like, what's happening? Um but um I know you're going to be mad when you find out what book 5 was going to be, but you can't look shit up until you're caught up. Like I'm so pissed. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Enjoy the seasons while you have them. Um, I'm fidgeting with this so bad. Um, this is in case I get little dust clusters on my glasses while I'm filming.
Dust clusters.
We are dust clusters. Good night, Chicago.
More fun than a pillow fight.
Were you doing it like it was like an ad for like? You remember like what were they called? They were like inflatable like boxing gloves. Pop 'em, sock 'em, bop 'em. Sock 'em boppers?
Yeah.
That's horrible to say. Sock 'em boppers?
Yeah.
Sock 'em pop 'ems. Something.
What? No, boppers.
Boppers. Sock 'em bop 'em. I don't sock 'em bop 'em. I hate this. Good job. Good job. Thanks. Now I have a bunch of freaking Je suis la jeune fille. Yes, that's French they're speaking, but no, these kids aren't French. They're American. Like, I have all these freaking, like, 90s infomercials. It's a curse. It is a curse. They just go through my head. Just old-ass commercials all the time. The biggest one is still Reese's Puffs. Wait, hold on. You have candy for breakfast? And I say, not candy, Reese's Puff cereal. So I take a bite. Like, kids these days in your YouTube ad skipping, like, the number of times I've had to sit through those commercials so I could find out what the hell's happening to Hey Arnold this week. Or Doug. Or friggin' Ed, Ed and Eddie. Or the Powerpuff Girls. Like, I've seen those commercials. Clean your room. Take you to Chuck E. Cheese. Like, goddamn.
Wow.
And now they're getting free ads for me now. But I do it. Was it Mozzie or Fozzie? Mozzie. Yeah. The Dora the Explorer's great-great-grandfather. It was like a kid, like the kid watches the show and the kid will learn the language with the characters. I just love, there's something so weird about the dialogue, but that like smug ass woman who just turns and goes, and no, those kids aren't French. They're American. Like she did the little gesture and it was like, okay, flex. Like some of us can't afford 6 payments in 1995. And she had the same haircut as my grandma. I remember that tripped me up.
I remember the people who paid by check, and I thought you had to write the check and mail it in to process payment, and I guess that was one way to do it, but
yeah, you had to mail the check.
Yeah, or you could give them the information over the phone and wire it, which seems...
That's super sketchy for VHS tapes to teach you French when you're not French, but American. God damn it. I hate this. And that we did that one day where we just watched like a compilation of like old commercials,
Yeah.
and I just started. It was like the spirit moved through me.
Oh, purple ketchup.
Ugh. Purple ketchup and sprayable butter.
And
My
squeeze
mom
sour
was
cream.
convinced that would make us lazy, like asshole kids, if we had sprayable butter instead of the spreadable. Because she's like that, like what a lazy thing. Like she was so offended
It's
by
not
sprayable
good.
butter. I'm sure it's not, but I just remember like because we had like country crock, so it was like the big tub. There'd be crumbs all over the place and shit because my sisters are heathens, and I'm sure I did it too, maybe a little, but it was mostly my older sister. Um,
You do it now.
no, I don't. Joke's on you. We don't have a toaster anymore because we're not brave
Oh,
enough,
that's right.
and I'm too scared to use the oven unsupervised because our smoke detector's right next to the oven, and it goes off a lot when I'm home alone, even if I'm not doing anything wrong. Um, but it was the sprayable butter, and there was purple ketchup grossed her out, but that grossed me out too, so that never bothered me. There was there was something else that I was like really mad at my mom for never getting us. I feel like it was food related. Oh, she would never do sugar cereal. Maybe that's why I remember the Reese's Puffs commercials because I'm like, man, that's what happiness is. M Hags Art, thank you for the 9.99. Bill and Alana, I've missed joining the streams. This has been so much fun. Thanks for making me laugh, and thanks for such a warm community in the chat. Y'all are so great. I hope to join more again soon. Well, good. I'm glad you're having fun. Hope you're doing well, and hope to see you back on the gaming stream soon. But no worries, they're always up if you want to watch them in the future. Um, because you got to come first. People in your life come second. I'm the third. Bill, I put up a number 3, but you couldn't see it. So what's framing? But thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you everybody for your generosity. Again, all that money goes to rent and bills and food and setting aside some money for taxes and equipment. Um, so it's a very kind way to help keep the train going forward. And I hope you're doing well as well. And I'm glad everyone's behaving in chat. Thank you. I'm very proud of us in those regards. The rare times I see like really awful comments that are like disparaging to marginalized groups of people, I don't really see, but because sometimes YouTube doesn't always grab them all, but they usually do because there's all the automated stuff, which keep that in mind, everybody. Like sometimes YouTube will just grab your shit, it will take the comments out themselves. I don't own YouTube. I just chill here. Um, but I don't see a lot of people jumping up going, "Yeah, let's be shitty." So shout out to us. Um, and I don't know. I always appreciate it. Like I'm always going to think of the collective outside of me and people who know me or people who know my content. When talking on things that don't pertain to me beyond being a human being and wanting everyone to be okay. But I always appreciate the openness. Um, because I talk about stuff, you know, in and outside of my wheelhouse. And I don't know, I just appreciate everyone being supportive. Like sometimes it's like, oh man, I never thought of that. And sometimes it's like, well, actually it's like this. And other times it's like this feeling of like, haha, he's getting it. Like I always appreciate that. Like no one makes me feel like, well, people who stick around and watch multiple videos don't ever make me feel like, haha, look at this little sad boy over here. Fuck you. You know? Like one of my Marina videos, it sucks the way like that's like Marina, 21 Pilots, and there's another band, Lizzo. There's a couple of artists where like something about how their label does stuff where it's like, haha, this is blocked in several territories and that messes with your algorithms, so I gotta stop. But it was uh the Rich Man's World. I'm pretty sure that's an ABBA song and not a Marina song. But it was one of the singles for Ancient Dreams in the Modern Land. Um, I really appreciated how warm everybody was while I'm talking about an experience I'm never gonna have of feminist issues. Um, 'Cause I don't know, I appreciate that because sometimes my I won't say perspective, my lens, because I there's so many women in my life, my family, like my grandma, my stepmom, my mom, um, my sisters, as well as friends and everything. Uh, you hear a lot of stories, and that shit adds up to a perspective over time. And I don't know. I always appreciate the open, the reception when I do videos like that. You know, because I don't want to ignore it. Marina's literally singing about freeing Britney and all that stuff, and like the history of how we've treated a lot of issues poorly. And I don't know. I just appreciate people being receptive to touching to when I touch on those subjects because like I don't want to gloss over it, but I also don't want to speak on it so much that it feels like I've brought my own apple box and I'm gonna let me spread out over several seats on the subway and explain to you what feminism is. Um, I appreciate everybody being supportive when those topics come up and touching on them, you know. Um, because like goddamn, like even to this, I'm gonna call her tomorrow because she's tired from radiology today. But like my grandma will still like tell me stories about being a single mom or her arranged marriage and stuff like that, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and she might as well be telling me like, oh yeah, I remember when the McRib was back. Like she's just like, yeah, that's just what happened, and I'm like, I need to go fight people. Like, what's happening? Like it's a lot.
We have a chat question.
What's up, chap?
Uh, if I ever got to make a cartoon show, would you voice act in it?
Okay. I mean, I guess depends on the script. If it's like I don't want to do anything hateful, like yeah, but yeah, why not? But I don't know. I appreciate that, especially when everybody's jumping up and down over like every other major pop culture topic anyway. Cause I don't know. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, cool, Miss Marvel, and everyone's like, it's feminist propaganda, and I'm like, what? She's she went to Avengers Con and yeah, she's got powers. Like, what are you talking about? I just want to watch the show. If girls could be green and lawyers. She Hulk already existed, my guy. Like, it's so uncomfy. So I appreciate that support in my content from y'all, and that you also give it to each other. Because it's so stressful. Because like I said, I watch a lot of things that I don't want to make content about, just because like some things have to be for me, and then I'll be like, oh cool, like Obi-Wan's trending. What's going on, guys? Whoa. Yikes. Anyway, so I'm so glad.
Morgan's piecing out.
Bye, Morgan. I hope you find peace in the out. Because I don't know. We're also starting to get into the layer of comics that I'm not as versed in, except for when like people show up in other stories. So I'm just like, that looks like how I remember in that drawing. I don't know. I found them mostly to be fun. WandaVision was certainly not fun. Neither was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I don't think those were trying to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of in the same way that I'm sure a lot of people find like Spider-Man fun, and all I did was like cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man. I had to sit through life knowing that those are the Spider-Man movies right now. That was my old man in the chair. Kids these days, get off my lawn. Uh, from Spider-Man 3 until I guess Captain America Civil War, there just was no Spider-Man. Um I don't know. It's just seeing all the back and forth shit. I'm like, that just looks exhausting. Like, I genuinely, I feel like if I were to make videos about that, I'd be like, this looks fun. I wonder if they'll talk about this thing in the comics. And then people be like, ah, the feminists are taking over. I'm an adult virgin. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that's the Vine reference. Sounds stressful. I know it's the internet. That's something not even my sisters can give me peace over that sentiment of, well, it's the internet. Like, people are going to be shitty. I'm like, we can stop. We can stop the shitty. But I'm like, man, can we just watch shit? Can we just watch shit? Because I don't know. It, it's like, sometimes it's like really fun. It's like being at a party and you're like meeting new people. And like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I'll check that out. And other times you're at a party and you're stuck with that dude who like is gonna give you his full film school tuition textbook that he memorized over and over and over again about how Optimus Prime is a metaphor for Jesus, and you just wanted to find the bathroom and you're being polite too long. It's just exhausting. But I think that's also I think part of it just has to do with like the headspace going into it because I'm sure if I were to sit down and be like, can't wait to hate this and make a video with vomit emojis and flames all over the place, I'm sure I would have a bad time too. And I'm just like, oh, neat. I thought She-Hulk got pushed back to September. Cool, I can watch this now. Like a lot of it's a lot of bullshit, but I'm sure if you come at it with that level of intensity, you're gonna be intense regardless.
TDG sends a super sticker.
Hey, thank you TDG for the $1.49. Surprised Google hasn't yelled at you for your username because they've been blocking words. But thank you. Hope you're good. It hurts. But because it was it Obi-Wan? No, it was Book of Boba Fett. Because I feel like if my dad was born at a different time, he'd be a podcaster. He loves talking to people about movies and stuff harder and longer than me in some cases, I think. But he's a huge Star Wars guy. He'd pull me out of school to go see the prequel trilogies and stuff growing up. I remember that's the only movie I've ever seen with both my parents is Phantom Menace. Because they could not decide. Um, they like didn't want to fight over like who gets to take me to my first Star Wars movie. Um, so that'll always have a special place in my heart, even though they suck. Um, but he didn't have anyone to talk to about Book of Boba Fett, so he told me he wanted that to be his Christmas present. Is promising that I'll watch Book of Boba Fett week by week instead of just binging it on a random day. And ooh, it was rough. It was rough. It was just like, what was the point of this? Did we need this? This series could have been a movie. This could have been an email. Um, but even that was fun because I got to like, you know, make fun of my dad through the whole thing.
We have like a noticeably awesome large audience of folks from Brazil,
That's awesome.
Argentina, Chile. It's been awesome.
That's super awesome. Hello. Um, hope everyone's doing well. Uh, I don't know. It's weird to see people get like that worked up. And it even goes for things that I do videos about sometimes. It's like, yeah, I'm watching something, but like I'm not gonna lose sleep over this. But I don't know. I think sometimes it gets a little intense or angry. And I do my best to avoid that stuff. Plus, like I think my poor dad, he had like such amazing theories for the Star Wars sequel trilogy, and then like they just got slashed to ribbons by the time episode 8 came out, and we just had to agree to stop theorizing, and we could only watch the trailers twice. Each time a new trailer would drop, we'd watch it, lose our shit, watch it again. And that's kind of been my rule. I don't want to, and that's, I think that might be why, I don't know, because sometimes I think about doing like trailers and stuff as they dropped. Thought about doing it for the Owl House season 2B trailer that dropped for like 20 seconds a week before it started, just to check it out and do a video. And I'm like, it's not really a lot of footage, and I don't want to over speculate or overhype. Or not overhype, but like over speculate or like overhype a theory or something. Maybe that's just why I just don't do trailers anymore, because like I feel like the more I watch a trailer and like hyperfixate on it, the more I'm like, if it doesn't happen the way I've theorized it, I'm gonna actually be disappointed instead of just surprised at what comes next. But I could maybe do that in the future. Like that'd be kind of, because I've kind of wanted to do that, like do like a frame by frame or things I noticed or something. It just sucks that you can't do, because that would be a great stream if you could just like play the trailer and talk about it, but like it's a commercial. Like how do you copyright that? But you're right, no one can have fun. I hope it's worth it.
Oh, I love your reaction videos because I feel like I'm watching it with you. When Owl House was every weekend I watched this episode thinking, oh my god, Bill is gonna freak out in this part.
Oh, you were probably right. Thank you. That's so sweet. And I feel the same way, because like, you know, everyone has lives, everyone has things to do, but like it's weird seeing how like my content is spurned from like Alana introducing me to like Lady Gaga, my sister's begging me to watch Steven Universe and stuff, and now the tables have completely turned, and I'm like, do you know who this is? No. Have you watched this show? No. You caught up in the Owl House? Nope. And I was like, cool. I have no one to talk about this with, so I get to make videos, and so ditto. It's nice, especially for that like couple of hours where I'm sure there's a way that some people have gotten the episode sooner, whether it's time zones or whatever. Sometimes people will get access to the episodes an hour or two before me, and I love just getting. It's a dream, small dream. The real dream is 200K and the awesome tattoo and sustainable income from making content. I want Oh No Bill to go trending at least once, and I want the little Twitter description to read like fans of YouTuber The Third Bill are concerned at how he will react to the Owl House series finale or something. Like I want that so bad, to where someone has to like explain the trend on Twitter, and it's just Oh No Bill, because that's been my code for like. Is this gonna like should I take a shower first for when I get dehydrated, or can I just sit and enjoy the fun times with poignant messages along the way? And I just really badly, just once, I want to see the Twitter trend, and then they have to make the description. Fans of YouTuber The Third Bill are concerned over how he will respond emotionally to whatever it is. I think that would be really funny. I don't know. I don't know. I just like the idea of like seeing the Twitter descriptions. Um, but it's another bummer. I hope we get it soon, but I also don't. Take forever. I don't need this to end, but I need to know what happens. It's hard not to blame yourself sometimes when like all the shows that you're like getting into and then it's like, nah.
Ari says, been a fan of you for a bit, not doing too well mentally, but your videos have made me able to keep my chin up. So glad I could catch you live.
Oh, that's awesome. Keep your chin up. I'm happy to help in any way. Make sure you're taking time for yourself. You know, drink some water. Take care of yourself. There's always resources in the descriptions of the videos and streams. Um, Happy to help in any way I can. Um, I don't know. It's hard. I feel like the thing I have to resist the most is like I can feel myself wanting to detach a lot emotionally lately because the shows aren't getting finished or aren't like being given the full time. And I don't know. You should check out this show. Check out this show. And I'm like, is the show done? Like, is it sealed away forever? Like, now would be a good time to get into Gravity Falls because at least that show's done. That's another one people have asked me for a lot. Like, oh, you should do Gravity Falls. So I'm like, guys, I will not lie to you. And like, what's this? And like, secretly, I'm like watching it on Blu-ray and I've cosplayed as Dipper several times. Um, it was hipster older Dipper, so I could keep wearing my beanie. Um, Also, so I could keep my beard. I think the only time I've shaved my beard was to be freaking casual titty sweatshirt Saitama from Singular Fist Boy. That doesn't sound right. From One Punch Man. Um because I don't know, there's a couple of shows that are on my mind that are like out and done. I'm like, maybe that would be kind of fun. Because I was really surprised. I thought I had waited enough time for Arcane because I wanted to wait a little bit just because of the lawsuits and stuff that were going on uh, with Riot Games. But also I wanted to wait a little bit because I'm like, do I want to plunge into heavy theory territory and all that stuff? Because I was already working on like Centaur World and a bunch of things. Like I wanted to wait because I'm like, I think my videos are a little more fun when I don't know in the video what's going on and the audience does. But I felt like that kind of worked against me with Arcane because it felt like I had to remind people a lot or hoped that people would remember if I didn't respond to a comment. But it's like, yo, like I'm watching this for the first time. I'm not going to see everything and I don't know how this ends. So I'm like, would maybe doing something a little older that's done be a nice change of pace, like what I did with like uh Rapunzel's Tangled Adventures, or when I binged all of She-Ra. Maybe something like that. Because I kind of want to check out BoJack Horseman, but I know it's gonna like mess with me. And I also remember I tried watching the first season when it came out years ago, and it was right after I moved out of LA, and I'm like, I don't want showbiz. And then a couple years later, La La Land happened, and I'm like, I really don't want stories about show business. Please stay away from me. No, nobody fucking sings when you're stuck in traffic on the 101. Um, but now that it's done, and people have said that it like does a good job with what it wants to do, I've debated BoJack Horseman, and then I know that Star versus the Forces of Evil has like a very. I've gotten the sense that not a lot of people like it, or at least it's a mixed bag if people liked it or not by the end. And there's a part of me that's like, oh, I kind of want to see if I would like it, the show itself, but also the ending. If it has such a, I wouldn't call it. I don't know if it's controversial, but like a a divided ending. Um, I think that would be kind of interesting because that's all I know about Star versus the Forces of Evil is that people didn't like the ending. So I don't know. Because I know there's a couple that I'm like missing in that lexicon from like that time of animation. The time of animation when Legend of Korra should have happened. Post like that 2012-ish kind of zone. The Children of Adventure Time, if you will. Um so I don't know. I'm kind of torn between like trying to jump on the new stuff as they're dropping because also I've done that a couple of times and it feels kind of hit or miss. Like,
Ah,
oh my god.
I'm on it.
Ironically, I need an adult.
There we go.
Uh, see, kids, this is why I usually have the subscriber only, and you have to be subscribed for like 60 seconds turned on.
Hey, we went almost 3 hours.
I know it was going good. Some of those, some of those bots are really gross with how they verbalize that shit. It makes me uncomfy. Um, what was I saying? Like I did like Dead End Paranormal Park, and I feel like maybe I should have waited a little bit for more people to have watched the show before I dropped my video. I don't know. It's hard kind of like getting a feel for what's a good idea, bad idea, good time, bad time, you know. But I was just enthusiastic for the show. I like spooky things. I like gay things. Anything in that LGBTQIA plus rep, that's never a bad thing.
Aw, I decided to watch Paranormal Park thanks to you.
Yay!
And I'm thankful.
Yay! Also, if I had waited, I feel like someone would have told me that there's a musical episode, and then I would have done the music of then the show. Um, some people brought up musicals. My degree's in musical theater, so I feel like I might be a little harder on that. Um,
Especially when Love Never Dies is the only musical.
it's only one musical. I thought about that, but sometimes musicals have like 20 to 30 songs. Like I've never listened to or seen Hades Town because I also like to see the show first and then get into the soundtrack. I've never had a chance to see Hades Town. Like I know what you're thinking. Bill, do that video. That'd be like 1,000 hours long. You know how much I talk. Um, I don't know. Thought about doing that. I wish I'd waited a little bit for Dead End just to wait for people to check out the show for themselves. Also, I mentioned in my video that I used to work at theme parks, and I saw that the showrunner shared former theme park employee reacts to Dead End Paranormal Park, and I'm like, I'm a former theme park employee. I just didn't advertise it in my title. It's fine. I'm very happy for that other person. It's fine. Um, God, that was such a good show. I hope it's one of those. As much as I hate that business setup, and I hope that Netflix kind of does better moving forward. I hope that Dead End is one of those shows where it's like, haha, will we do a season two? And then drop like 10 more episodes. Haha, like we already have them. Because they did that with like Kipo, they did that with Centaur World. They're doing it right now with oh, what's the what's that game the kids are playing and they're like, oh, it's really hard, but it's animation.
Wait, what?
I called it Poker Face. It's like it's like Disney, but like that old school Disney where you can smoke a cigar. They got like that spinel bouncy arms. fuck is that called? Cuphead. The Cuphead Netflix show. They're kind of doing that. And I won't lie, I was hoping Arcane would be the thing to hold Netflix accountable to treating their animation people good, but I guess that's made out of house and they just distribute it. And then I was hoping it'd be Cuphead. Because I'm like, yo, Cuphead's getting kepoed. Cuphead has an established fan base. Because it's not an original IP, it's based off the game. I was really hoping that that would be like Netflix is being held accountable by like that aggressive Twitter combined with Reddit with the Tumblr kids joining in, like, treat this show right. What do you mean you're not paying them good or something? Because I've been noticing that where it's like, oh, there's gonna be more episodes, and I'm like, it doesn't take 3 months to animate these episodes. You already have them done. Are you keepoing the show? Those of you who don't remember, keepoing is when they order all the episodes at once as one season and then marketed it and distributed it as 3 seasons, but only pay people for 1 season deal. Hashtag new deal for animation. Look it up. I remember seeing comparisons to Cuphead and Keepo, and I was really hoping that would be the thing to kind of spur that, because let's be honest, like something comes in with like a big following like that, I think it would pop up on people's radar. That's just me. But like, I don't know if I want to do the show. It just sucks. It's like a lot of the things I was interested in just kind of got poo-pooed or pushed. And then like, I'm hoping something gets fixed soon or something, because I'm like, nothing made my heart sink into my ass faster than seeing the HBO Max logo next to The Last of Us trailer, and I'm like, oh yeah. But I'm trying to think of some stuff that I'm like excited for, and I feel like everything just has like this twinge of morbidity to it when I do. I don't know. Cause like every time I think something everything like every time like I underthink something, it ends up being a thing. Like I thought about doing a video about the little Baymax shorts because I loved them, and then I'm like, eh, who's gonna talk about the Baymax? Who's gonna want to watch somebody talk about the Baymax shorts? And then it was like trending for several days because someone was like, oh, look at that T-shirt. Why are they talking about tampons? And it's like, tampons exist, as do people that shirt signifies, trans rights and all that. Because like I understand the implication that the 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 character having a character wear the trans pride like flag would imply that they are a trans person. But I just went, cool, a shirt. That it does that count? As that's representation of the flag. That's not representation of like a trans character. And I remember thinking, that's nice, good for you. It's not enough. And then seeing like the waves of it's too much, and I'm like, oh, huh. I
Um,
guess I underestimated everybody.
this is a fun question.
Hmm.
What game or show would you like to get a revival or new media of?
A game or a show to get revival or new media? Fuck. Um. Game or a show? Uh. Would it count if I just said that I want the Silent Hill remaster to happen for 1 and 2? Um. it's tough because I feel like video games are doing such a good job at telling a story on their own, right? Like if I were to say like say Life is Strange, it's like so you would just want to pay people who look kind of like those characters to act it out. Um which is kind of how I feel about The Last of Us, but there's also a lot of gameplay between those cutscenes. I don't know.
What's your opinion on overhype? Like when a show gets hyped up so much, you end up disappointed.
I mean, it's a thing that can happen if that's the question. I was just talking about it earlier. Like, I could never fully get into Game of Thrones. Too many characters, too many names for me to keep up with. It was very stressful. But um, I already knew about the Red Wedding and stuff. So when that happened, I'm like, anytime there's a wedding, something bad's gonna happen, and it did. And I was like, okay, I knew about all this stuff. Um, but I guess that would count more as a spoiler than overhype. But yeah, I think you can oversell something. Um, in my personal life, I try my hardest not to do that. Which can be hard sometimes, you know. Um, a show with new media. I don't know how you could do this to my wish fulfillment center, but I'd really like to see like do Legend of Korra now, where we don't have to stare at each other and kind of hold hands and walk into the sunset. You feel? Because I like the show, but you can tell that there's a lot of budget issues, censorship, restraint. Um, I think people even pointed out when I was like really disappointed about like a random clip show towards the end, and everyone's like, "That's because they were threatening to cut everybody's like pay who's animating this." And I'm like, well, shit. I would much rather people be paid fairly. Hashtag New Deal for animation. I'd rather people be paid fairly and get benefits than me to be amused for one more episode. A clip show it is. Um, so I'd like to see it now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Especially when like how stupid that is to like misuse one of your biggest IPs, and I think it only got bigger over time. But I think the live action movie definitely stilted a lot of that. Um, I don't even know if that's the right word that I'm thinking of, but you know what I mean. Um, so I guess I'd like to see the Legend of Korra be done now because that's the big thing I was blown away about with another live action Avatar show, the one that's going to be on Netflix. So I was like, feel like that's a bad idea, Chief. But you know what does kind of need a little bit of an update? Legend of Korra. If you were to do, and it can't be a new story. If you were to tell me you have to do a live action something with Avatar, I'd be like, do Korra because that's still stuff that we haven't gotten to see live its best and truest life.
That would be so good.
Yeah, I think so. And don't miscast people. Just a thought. I love seeing Jasper. Don't get me wrong. Good
Oh
old
yeah.
Sokka battle scars. There we go. That's the big question I sent to everyone else. I've thought about doing some more pop culture based videos. One of them is ranking the worst Twilight character based off just the movies, and then promising if it goes well, I'll do it again after reading the books. I thought about it for a long time. I don't like doing negative things in content. That's the closest I've ever gotten. I don't know if there's an audience for it. That's a video I've been mulling around a lot. The answer may shock you. because I was thinking about it, or just doing it this way. I was thinking about it when I declared um the pet adoption lady at the pound in Lilo and Stitch is the worst Disney animated major motion picture, lower than supporting or featured, like walk-on character. That is the worst character in Disney animated major motion pictures of a size that small, or a role that small. The worst character is the lady in Lilo and Stitch who worked at the pound, who thought that she was giving a little girl a dead dog, kept that seemingly dead dog on display, said that Stitch is not a real name and had to be corrected by her sister. Like, that lady is the devil. She's awful. I hate her. And I was like, I should do that with random things. Like, who's the worst character, and like find the worst like extra character, featured character in like Disney animated movies or something.
Favorite favorite TV intro.
Favorite TV intro. That's tough. Oh, no, it's not. Sonic Underground.
Oh, boo! Every time I think we're sharing the same thought, you put out something that's not.
Why? What were you thinking?
It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, because Sonic Underground is the bet. There you go. That's the fucking video that should go on the trending page. Sonic Underground is the greatest intro of all time. Sorry, I checked chat. I have the donation page set up to see when people donate. She threw all of Iceland under the bus to cover for her mistake. Yes, and she's racist. You're right. Like, that's not a name in Iceland. You're absolutely right. Or whatever. Icelandic phobic? I don't know. Icelandist? You're right. Thank you for proving my point even further. She's awful. Who tells a little kid that that's not a name? Also, nouns are cute pet names. Also, you thought the dog was dead, and you went, stick it in the cage where kids will see when they come to adopt animals. Or people in general. You don't even assume a kid's showing up. A kid shows up, and you don't cover that thing. Her perspective. I know it's Stitch. You know it's Stitch. You know that thing is fine, and also not a dog. That lady is the worst in the world.
I'll say it's the person who left a box of kittens in New York.
That's a society problem. I might have to just make that video. I think we did it. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget this. Because that little rant, when I first went on it, did make me think, like, oh, I should try to find, like, the worst character by, like, nitpicking the circumstances. You know? Is it the waitress in the diner in Twilight who just assumes what Bella wants to eat?
Garden burger?
What are her food allergies? You don't know.
They change every 7 years.
They do. You didn't ask. You could have killed her.
She's the one killing everybody around town.
I think we all know who the worst character is. Well, we know who the best character is. Worst character. Worst
Scars.
Yeah, worst character in Disney history. Lilo and Stitch.
So many people are gonna be like, the person who shot Bambi's mom.
That's society. That's society. Also, we don't know if it was hunting season or not. That is a thing. That person thought they were in the right. This lady chose to throw what she thought was a dead dog on display for people, possibly children. And when a child showed up, she didn't cover it. Child wanted to name it. She said that's not a name. And then she said something racist about people in Iceland to cover her tracks. The worst. the worst
Deer could have been overpopulated.
and has no
That's a good
point in the story.
Yeah.
I have to throw that in too. Featured character.
That's a good point. Stitch was not quarantined for 72 hours like most shelters have.
Yeah. Where's the scene where she gave him the shots?
Pardon me.
Oop. Because while we don't agree, or at least while I don't agree, with things like hunting, like there's still there's too many deer, there's not enough deer. Do we got a hunting season? Whatever. I don't really know that much about hunting. I don't agree with it. Someone who's smarter than me claims it's good for the ecosystem. I okay. I can at least see that character's justification. It was hunting season.
That's the prequel I want.
What? Determining whether or not it was hunting season?
Like finding out Bambi's mom.
That sounds like a bad play. Like, you know, they have like the courtroom discussion, like the Brothers Grimm court thing about like old fairy tales. It sounds like that, but for Disney, where it's like, was it even hunting season?
I've sat through many of auditions hearing those monologues. I ate the divorce papers, Charles. Oh, oops.
I burnt you dinner. I think she is. I think she's the worst character. Like the worst unimportant character in Disney animation.
I can't find anyone that.
Well, it would kind of have to be like the Studio Ghibli thing, but a lot longer, where I'd have to sit down and like sort through all those movies and like nitpick it like that to like try to find. Because like, did the prince's assistant guy in Cinderella, was he helping Cinderella or was he aiding a fetish cyst, whatever that word is? It's a tough one.
Here's a good question.
Is it the genie when he's in the bazaar shop guy at the beginning, that character? Because he just has the lamp and he's just chilling out in the open. Did he imprison himself again? But now I'm nitpicking in a different direction.
Possibly.
Like again, I would have to sit down and like dissect the shit out of all these character beats and find the worst. Again, that's something I wish, like, even if I could like not the audio but have like the visual up as I'm sitting down and watching that shit. Because like the Little Mermaid, there's the chef, but he's doing his job. That's a societal thing. I'm talking about the character. Like this, there is no reason that that lady had to do any of those things. It was dead this morning. Then what is it doing here?
Yeah, sell them for taxidermy. I don't know. Did you feel that your education has in any way shaped how you approach media analysis, either for the better or worse?
I mean, credit where credit's due. I did have a teacher who kind of mentored me a lot. Because he saw like how attached I get to story and you know, trying to like convey emotion without losing myself to it, especially through song. It's really hard for me. Hard to keep pitch, tone, and rhythm when you're like sobbing uncontrollably. But he always encouraged me to keep doing that. And I don't know. I would say if I had to do it, I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I would just read textbooks instead of getting student loans and join the internet sooner. Um, but I guess I would take more like behind the camera classes, like writing and learn a bit more about light composition and things like that, so I can understand those a little more. Because I have like a really basic understanding of those things. I'd love to learn more about them, but education is a burden as well as a privilege. Um, like I'm not spending 30, 40,000 more dollars I don't have um to learn about light composition. But I wish I'd done more of that because I also feel like the curse of having an arts degree like that in the industry is like the more you learn about how things work, good or bad, kind of permeates with you a little bit. Like sometimes I'll watch a show, I'm watching the first episode of Better Call Saul. Those two guys who are like running the skateboard scam. This isn't a spoiler, it's in the first episode, it's not a thing. They get that pilot money throughout the whole show, and I thought that to myself, like some random person says like a line or two in an office in the first episode of a show, they get a little kickback as the show continues, and I'm like, that's really interesting and fun. And other times I'm sitting there and it's like, you know, like what I just talked about with Netflix and Kipo and things like that. It's like that other times you see how like things work on those ends and unfair pay for writers, the pay discrepancy between live action and animation, even though, as much as everything is built and crafted for live action, you didn't have to grow the wood. They have to create everything from the ground up in animation and make it move. Um, Sometimes you can go a little far. Like I said, my distaste for La La Land purely because I'm like, there's nothing enriching or entertaining about like, the dream. Let's sing while we're stuck in traffic, and let me get really upset that 10 people showed up to my one woman show. I'm a nobody. Opening night, 10 people show up. One of them is an agent. They want to talk to you. And my first thought was,
That's
good job. That's
amazing, yeah.
great. Congratulations. And Emma Stone's upset, giving a great performance, but I'm like, fuck this movie.
My one woman show only had one show, one night, and I think 10 people came. I saw it as a success. People
Yeah.
would come see me.
And sometimes I wonder if that's because I moved to Chicago and then that movie came out, but still, I'm like, man, fuck you. Um, so sometimes I feel like it can kind of, you can have an opinion over certain things, or I would do this differently, or I would do that differently. Because I don't know. Like seeing somebody deliver a monologue who looks kind of like me in a role I feel like I could play, it's a much different experience if I give in to that impulse to compare what I would do versus what I'm seeing to like watching a dance show and seeing something I don't have the ability to do or the training to do in a million years. Like I don't sit there and go, I could do 4 backflips. Like I go, wow, cool. You're like a superhero. So I'd say it more impacts things on the knowledge is a curse in some ways.
Uh, let's see. We can
Still fun.
combine this all into one question here.
What?
Character you would love to sing the part of in a musical, but also show, movie, media franchise you would love to see a musical adaptation of.
I'm very against musical adaptations lately. Like that's all we're getting is like movies turn into musicals and it's kind of exhausting. Uh can I do a game? I think Undertale would make a good Broadway show. Be long. The Last of Us the musical. I don't know. I don't know. Uh Broadway roles. I'd love to do every role in Hamilton. But like I'm stuck in the play 1776. No, La Cage aux Folles is one of my favorite shows. It'd be amazing just to be a part of it. I don't care. who I am or what I do. Uh, but I'd say one of my favorite musicals that I feel like still has never been done right is Jekyll and Hyde. So I'll go with Jekyll and Hyde for 500. Somebody please donate 500. And I don't know, turn into a musical. It'd be really niche, and it would be something to do more for like in a theater near San Diego Comic Con. But it'd be really cool to see like the Ember Island players be put on live, like as an actual like recap of Avatar, and with like the bad stage effects and stuff, and the my honor. Like I'd love that. Um, but I'm honestly getting very, very, very tired of um Broadway musicals based on movies and such, because it's cool when it's done right. Like most musicals, original or otherwise, there will always be a couple of good songs usually. But it's kind of all that's happening right now, and it's getting exhausting. Like I don't like living in a world where Beetlejuice doesn't stand out as a concept, because it's like, well, there's School of Rock, and here's Pretty Woman, and here's Tootsie, and it's like, so there's like six movie musicals, not including the Disney ones, which they kind of are, right? But like, that's too many.
Um, Favorite comfort characters. That's a good one. And can also play into this topic.
Huh?
Comfort characters.
Comfort characters. Um, the the Belcher family from Bob's Burgers. I'm trying to think of what a comfort character means. That's a relatively new term for me, but I love seeing, especially because I think the family dynamic is like really close, minus, minus the restaurant part and the living month by month part. It's, my parents did okay. Um, we didn't own the house, but they were making payments and we had food. Um, but it's the dynamic, seeing those three kids work together, and um, I'm not gonna cry. Um, the episode where Bob takes Gene to see a laser prog show really fucks with me. Um, it's weird. I don't see myself a lot in Gene specifically, but I see that family dynamic as pieces of my family. I'd say even better than The Simpsons, because I think The Simpsons is The Simpsons, but like one kid's forever a baby, and that's part of the joke, and they're always in elementary school. Whereas like these three kids kind of reminds me of my sisters. Boy in the middle, two girls, similar-ish enough in age. It hits a couple of notes for me. Um, and I don't know. I like the feeling of still having that comedy of like not always making the best decisions or whatever, and that's where comedy comes from. It's a series of errors. But like the Belcher family is still trying to do their best, whereas it's still funny at times, but like Homer just sucks and Marge enables and the kids kind of suck. Um, but I feel like the Belchers still try their best. Um, I don't know. Some of the seeing the three Belcher children going on little, whether it's like an obstacle in school or a little stupid cartoon sitcom adventure thing, or dealing with life or complaining about their grandparents' pool not being filled or something, it hits me in that comfort place of growing up. So I'd say that. Because also Bob's Burgers is not linear, so I'm also not like, what does it mean? Where is it going? Let's go. Like, if that makes sense. Um, Does that count as a comfort character? Like, I'm still trying to think of the idea of a
Yeah,
comfort character.
I think so.
I just like seeing the adventures of the Belcher children.
Yeah. Most recent comfort character that comes to mind has gotta be Hop Hop. That's another good one.
I was too scared the whole time that Hop Hop was gonna die. Maybe now. Maybe that I know how Amphibia ends. I could probably watch it a little better, but nah, man. I know that stuff is coming. Um, it's like the aquarium episode,
Oh.
but all the time. That's another thing too. I forgot about when they're like, "Let's take a day. Let's take one last day," and they like cry constantly. I'm like, me, if I ever get to go home and go to the places that my grandpa took me in my childhood at the Seattle Pier, that was my plan for 2020. His ashes are still in a box. Like, it does shit to me. So I don't know. I think it needs to be something nonlinear, like Bob's Burgers, for me to truly feel comfort. Because that's the thing for me. Comfort is also not. Yeah, comfort for me is just not worrying about tomorrow because the show isn't linear.
That makes sense.
But you're not wrong either. I just the example of Hop Pop was a good example in general, but then I'm like that helped me think of an example of what I don't want. Um, because god damn it, like if there's like grandparents looking after kids, I'm instantly like, if you die, I'm done. We're not doing this. Like it hits. I miss them. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the Belcher children. I don't know. I feel like nobody would watch that video, but now I really want to make that video.
The Stitch one? I say do it.
Man. Ooh, boy, it is getting. I'm getting sleepy and it is getting late.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't know, like YouTube tends to like really. I've noticed if a stream goes a little too long, suddenly it's like, this is too much streaming. We're not gonna promote this. I don't want people to click on shit. God, that'd be really funny. Well, because I wanted to do a video, because I remember the creator or the writer of Lilo and Stitch had pointed out, like, called out an article for saying, like, Frozen is the first time we saw sisterly love at Disney. And they were like, the hell? And I was like, oh, that's an interesting point. I'd like to kind of compare them. And then I was like, the creator of Lilo and Stitch did it a lot better than I did and with a lot more passion. I'd be like, I guess. Um, well, numbers. Um, that might be really fun. Um,
We're caught up on the Mike Flanagan shows, yeah?
to my knowledge.
Yep.
Hello? I don't know who that is. I always wish that they would just freaking, like, just let me click a button in the stream to see all the donations I got in the stream so I can thank everybody. Because they just go away eventually. And it's like, I want to pull this up so I can thank everybody again. we'll probably do that. And if anyone's on the fence, we'll do it in 10 minutes. So it's taking a second. There we go. Boop. Last call, last call. But I don't know. Thanks for hanging out with me. I I like just kind of doing hanging out stuff. I'd like to also start doing streams with more of like a thesis or a topic to stick to, but I like hanging out. Um like I said, the overall goal is something pleasant, chill, backgroundy, as well as talking about things. Um I don't know. Thanks for hanging out. And like I said at the top of the stream too, thanks for you know, sticking around, clicking on stuff while I took a break or just not unclicking on stuff. But last I guess we'll do last call for donations to be read aloud, because I'll always feel bad if I'm like, all right, gonna end the stream and someone's like, here's $5, you're nice, what's your favorite color? Like, it always flips through my head. But thank you again, and if you're unable to donate and stuff, no worries, no pressure, you know. Clicking on stuff supports as well. Speaking of, don't forget to smash that like. If you liked hanging out with me but wish I had a little bit more focus or something else to focus on, I do have a gaming channel, Bill Chill Gaming, that's linked in the channel tab as well as down below in the description. I stream there twice a week. We've hit the horror season over there. I'm currently playing The Quarry. I just finished Amori and Stray. That channel hits 5,000. I'm going to do the evil route of Undertale. So consider subscribing. Check out a stream. Check out a video. I like to think I'll be able to get a video up by the end of the week. I don't know. I will do my darndest. Because, yeah, it's, like I said, collecting thoughts on one show while another show had, like, disastrous news, that's been kind of rough. I think I might commit to this video idea that I toyed around with, abandoned, and then we kind of found it a home back within my heart and brain. That might be a really fun thing to do. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Thank you, Alana, for modding. Yeah, smash that like, gamers. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to donate, please consider doing so. If you're watching this in the future, you can always leave a super thanks. Or you can go to thethirdbill.com to donate directly to me there, or pick up a shirt like this one. We're working on some stuff there as well soon. But yeah, that's thethirdbill.com. Check out my gaming channel. Check out my channel. Follow me on social media, please. And then continue to follow me when I talk about videos I'm making. Nothing confuses me more. Hey guys, we're doing a stream tonight. 2 subscribers go away, and I'm like, why? I'm doing stuff. Aren't you proud? It's fine. But yeah, go check them out. I've played a lot of games over on the gaming channel. And you know, peruse through the videos. I've been getting a lot of people dropping comments asking me to do topics and shows and things I've already done. So go check them out. I do my best to keep a nice little catalog over there. On the main channel, I try to have like, music, animation, and shows and stuff once it hits a certain point. But over on the gaming channel, the streams stay up. I hope they're good background noise. We have a lot of fun over there hanging out. And yeah. God, I'm tired. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. Thanks for encouraging me by supporting me when I take a break. Just want to say thank you again to the donations. Oh, I just scrolled past it. I set it up so perfectly that I scrolled. Thank you again, NJ Vega Martin for the 5, Lily for the 5, Braden for the 5, Morgan Terry, who has a great video about Infinity Train, for the 5, Lily for the 20 California. Oh, it's the one word again. Polyphonica Studio, for the 50, Argentina, the AR, Gabriel for the 10, Lindsay for the 50, Blaze Gatsby for the 50, Morgan for another 5, M Hags Art for the 9.99, and TDG for the $1.49. And again, if you don't want to donate, you're not able to right now, watching videos, clicking stuff, following me on social media, sharing, getting other people to watch and hang out and join our lovely community here on my gaming channel, Bill Chill Gaming. Those are all ways to help support. By hanging out and watching things as long as possible, you are supporting as well. Thank you again to everyone who has donated today or in the past. God, I am feeling how tired I am. I appreciate everybody keeping me company. Working on some videos that'll come out soon. I have so many notes to get through. I hope everybody's staying safe. Hope everyone's doing well. Just like all my videos and streams, there's a link to a card in the description that'll send you to resources for social awareness and education, mental health and crisis science, Trevor Project resources, things like that. Should you or someone you know need them. What time is the Thursday stream? Same time as this stream was. All my streams, unless something changes, they're 7 Central Time, which is 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. I don't know the time zones past them. But I'm always there for about this amount of time, like 7 to 10 my time, so 3-4 hours depending. I'm just hanging out and stuff. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you for clicking on stuff. Hope you keep clicking on stuff. Hope I make stuff that's click worthy. Be safe, guys. I'm so tired. Be safe, be mindful of others, wear a mask, and remember to take care of yourselves, please.